Chapter 6:24. When the scarlet refining heavenly demon appeared, everyone in the Wong clan was expressionless. It should be said that they all had the same expression on their faces. That was fear. That's right, it was fear. In the mythical tower, there was the scarlet refined heavenly demon, who was known for being the most ferocious in battle. In the face of such a ferocious fellow, their entire Wong family was not a match, not to mention the old ancestor who was holding down the fort. Originally, the middle-aged man with the surname Fong had attempted to resist the myth tower. However, with the appearance of the other party, his dream had ended. Under such power, even 70% of the powers in the myth city would not be able to resist. They had no chance of winning. What was the point of fighting this battle? They didn't even need to make a move. Humph! The scarlet refining heavenly demon snorted coldly. You handle the matters here. Kill anyone who isn't satisfied. Those words were naturally directed at Mu Yin. Then he tore open the void and left. Everyone instantly felt as if a huge mountain had disappeared from their heads. They heaved a long sigh of relief. At this moment, Wang Shan and Iron Mountain's faces were pale. They had never expected that their third brother, who had been at a disadvantage, would borrow the power of the mythology tower to reverse the situation. They knew very well what this meant. Lord Father, in view of the fact that you have made the wrong decision for the family and almost brought the family to destruction, you should abdicate and give up your position. Wang Jiaxing took a deep breath. Victory came too quickly. The formation executed by the squad of 50 people had practically swept through the entire Wang clan, completely exceeding Wang Jiaxing's calculations and expectations. Now, it was his turn to take the lead. The head of the Wang family let out a long sigh. Now that things had come to this, no matter what he did, it might not be of any use. If the Wang family wanted to survive, he could only abdicate his position. I am indeed old. It is time for you to lead the clan. The eldest young master and the second young master were dumbfounded. They suspected that they had misheard. The third young master was actually trying to force their father to abdicate. However, in the current situation, the two of them could only feel a deep bitterness. They were unable to fight against the mythology tower, but they still held on to a hope. If the other powers could successfully turn the tables tonight, perhaps they would be able to. Men, take the eldest and second young masters away and settle them down properly. Don't let them suffer. Wang Jiaxing directly made a decision to his eldest and second brothers. This was definitely not the time to be soft-hearted. Third brother, what are you doing? The two of them were shocked. The subordinates were still hesitating as they looked at the old chief. What are you all staring blankly for? From today onwards, third young master is the patriarch. Could it be that you all still want to go against the patriarch's words? The Wang family head was enraged. Unwillingly, the eldest and second princes were led away. From this moment on, Wang Jiaxing would be the new clan chief. The outside world had no idea about what had happened to the Wang family, as if it had never happened. Midnight, the originally quiet myth city was suddenly brightly lit up. Shouts of killing rang out incessantly, spreading throughout the entire myth city. Everyone had been in a state of panic. But as this scene unfolded, everyone seemed to understand what had happened. A major faction had turned against them and wanted to go against the myth tower. Crazy, they must be crazy. All of them are making their moves. It seems like someone has instigated their rebellion. The Legend Tower is in big trouble this time. 70% of the factions have rebelled together. It looks like tonight is destined to be a fierce battle. Perhaps tomorrow, the Myth Tower will have a new owner. The major powers of Mythology City rebelled together, and all sorts of people moved out. Some charged toward the Mythology Tower, and some charged toward the city, Lord's Manor. Their auras were aggressive, and their killing intent surged. Such a major power was no different from a disaster to the Myth Tower. Even though the Myth Tower had defeated the upper echelons of Sin Paradise, They didn't think that the myth tower could maintain its previous strength. Moreover, there were major powers besieging the myth tower from within, and people from outside, eyeing them covetously. This was a predestined ending. After many people thought things through, they decisively joined the siege, trying to obtain benefits. This was especially so for the myth tower, which possessed demonic arts that made everyone's eyes go red with envy. Of course, there were also some people who chose to watch from the sidelines, not replying. The Zhang family was such a family. They were also a major power in Myth City, and when the siege started, the Zhang family remained calm and even arranged for some spies to go out. Clan head, they are making a move. Why don't our clan make a move and get a share of the loot? An elder was puzzled. This was the pro-war faction of the Zhang family. 70% of the factions in Myth City are making a move together, and with the help of experts, no matter how strong the myth tower is, they might not be able to withstand the attack. Our Zhang family should make a move. Clan head, if we miss this opportunity, it will be as difficult as ascending to the heavens for our Zhang family to find another opportunity like this. Facing the request of the pro-war faction, the expression of the Zhang family head didn't change at all. Tonight, no matter who it is, whoever leaves the Zhang family will be a traitor of the Zhang family and will be killed without mercy. His cold words caused the expressions of all the elders to change. Some of the pro-war elders had such thoughts. They wanted to act first and report later. When the myth tower was defeated and their resources were plundered, the clan head wouldn't have anything to say. However, they didn't expect that the clan head would place so much importance on this matter, to the point of saying such words. The moment these words were spoken, they instantly gave up on the idea of leaving, regardless of whether it was the elders with high authority or the ordinary elders. All of them gave up and didn't dare to go out recklessly. They knew that the words of the clan head had never failed them. Once they brought people out, they would no longer be members of the Zhang family and would have to face the pursuit of the clan. They didn't want to get involved in such a matter. The interior of Myth City was brightly lit, and the sounds of killing rang out incessantly. The various people in the periphery saw this, but they didn't make a move. They were the ones who had colluded with the people in Myth City. They were the first batch of cannon fodder to test the strength of the myth tower. If the myth tower couldn't suppress the situation, they would charge in and plunder all the resources. The battle has begun. We have instigated 70% of the Myth City's forces. If the myth tower doesn't show some strength, it's best if the myth tower hasn't recovered yet. That way, we will have less trouble and can seize the opportunity to plunder. Just the cultivation resources alone will be enough for us to cultivate for tens of thousands of years. Who asked the Myth City to be so ostentatious? Otherwise, they wouldn't have been ganged up on. They asked for it and can't blame others. If it were me, I would definitely keep a low profile. Most of the people were blinded by greed. Some people didn't think that the myth tower could be defeated with just some cannon fodder. If that was really the case, the myth tower wouldn't be the myth tower they were. In theory, the first wave of cannon fodder could be stopped. If the myth tower didn't have some strength to wipe out a few big shots from Sin Paradise, would they be so ostentatious? If that happened, everyone would really doubt the ability of the myth tower. City Lord's Mansion. Faced with this unforeseen event, Lin Fei wasn't surprised. He knew that such a day would come when the various forces appeared outside. In the face of absolute benefits, it was impossible not to betray them. 70% of the forces, they're quite generous. After hearing the report, Lin Fei smiled. However, if they can probe out the strength of the myth tower with just 70% of the forces, then they really don't take the myth tower seriously. Order the 4 great legions to move out. My request is to kill without mercy. Although 70% of the forces were not a simple force within the Myth City, Lin Fei was very calm. They were courting death, and they couldn't blame anyone. The forces that were originally surrounding the Myth Tower and attacking the city, Lord suddenly saw groups of black-armored soldiers appearing in the air. Boundless killing intent gathered together. Kill them. The Myth Tower has finally moved out. These forces couldn't hold back any longer. When they saw the Myth Tower's subordinates moving out, they charged forward without hesitation, preparing to kill them all. Formation. When the 4 great legions moved, groups of black-armored soldiers formed a formation, forming a giant. Wherever the long saber pointed, heads would fall to the ground, and blood would flow like a river. It was a terrifying scene of slaughter. In the sky above the Myth City, there were many giants with cold, killing intent. Even the people who were far away could feel that boiling killing intent, as well as that terrifying killing intent. This is the 4 great legions of the Myth Tower. What a powerful formation. It can actually erupt with battle prowess dozens of times. We must get our hands on this formation. This killing intent should be the result of cultivating a demonic technique, using killing intent to boost battle prowess and suppress the opponent's strength. The Myth Tower is indeed the Myth Tower. The entire Myth City was filled with endless killings. As the 4 great legions moved out, the giants started a massacre. The large and small powers who had been feeling victorious instantly felt as if dark clouds were looming over them. Unease shrouded their hearts. The moment the Mythology Tower's people appeared, their tyrannical attacks and boundless killing intent suppressed their strength. They watched as their subordinates were reaped and blood flowed down the street. Everyone's expression changed. How could the Myth Tower be so powerful? Just the 4 great legions alone were able to suppress 70% of their forces. How were they going to continue? The 4 great legions were crazily slaughtering their forces. Very few could withstand their attacks, and they started to retreat. The experts that cooperated with them were constantly being killed. This was equivalent to killing their disappointment. Retreat. Quickly retreat. We can't hold on any longer. In the Myth City, the forces that were originally attacking were now in a one-sided situation. The spectators couldn't help but suck in a cold breath. They were all scared out of their wits. The Myth Tower was too powerful. It was unknown how many people felt fortunate that they didn't make a move. Otherwise, the corpses on the streets would be one of them. They weren't the only ones feeling fortunate. Those who were firm in their decision were also feeling fortunate. Reporting, the 4 great legions are moving out. Reporting, the Allied forces are retreating. Reporting, the Allied forces are retreating. The outcome is already determined. Jean Clan's conference hall. Hearing the news coming back one by one, the elders of the pro-war faction felt dissatisfied at the start. Later on, they were shocked. They couldn't imagine that the Allied forces with 70% of their forces would be defeated so quickly against the 4 great legions. It was truly inconceivable. At the same time, fear filled their hearts. If they had made a move back then, perhaps their current outcome would be the same. They could almost imagine what their current outcome would be. That unknown 4 great legions had such terrifying combat prowess. Once they formed a formation, their combat prowess would soar. Their killing intent would suppress their strength, allowing them to kill people like they were killing demonic beasts. You should know now, right? The Jean clan head said calmly, his voice filled with sorrow. Yesterday, it was still the same major force, but in the span of a night, it had vanished into thin air, turning into dust in history. Over 100 years of development, a single wrong decision had caused the entire clan to turn into dust. The Jean clan had understood that being a clan leader didn't only require strength, but also foresight. From the start, the Jean clan head didn't approve of the cooperation. The Jean clan had witnessed the rise of the Myth Tower from start to finish. After 3 years, the Myth Tower's name had spread across the continent, and they had cooperated with Sin Paradise. The Jean clan head didn't believe that the Myth Tower would do something foolish. Everything had a reason. The Jean clan head was firm in his decision. It was precisely because of his decision that the Jean clan had avoided a disaster. From then on, he had decided to follow the Myth Tower in everything. On the second day, the sun rose. Within the myth city, the atmosphere was filled with a desolate, killing intent. What should have been an intense battle would eventually end in a one-sided massacre. The streets had long since been cleaned up. However, everyone could still smell the bloody stench lingering in the air. It was as though it was silently telling everyone how intense the battle last night had been. The city lord is truly ruthless. That's right. In a single night, he killed all of them. Don't forget about the 4 legions. Last night, all of them were brimming with killing intent. The sight of them was terrifying. It's no wonder everyone wants to join the Myth Tower. After learning the demonic cultivation technique, killing to one's heart's content, this daddy is willing to do so as well. The people of the Myth City. At this moment, they didn't have any other thoughts. This was especially so for the cultivators who were determined to join the Myth Tower. They seemed to have found their direction. As for those who didn't make a move last night, early the next morning, they all appeared before the city lord residence, as though to prove their innocence. Everyone understood that from today onward, these clans and factions would have a lot of benefits waiting for them. To those outside, this result wasn't surprising at all. In their imagination, it would be strange if the Myth Tower didn't have the strength to do so. The 4 legions should have been mobilized last night. Their methods are ruthless, killing people and absorbing killing intent. They are just like the demonic sections. They must be wiped out. They must be wiped out. We must plunder the demonic cultivation technique. A sizable battle had undoubtedly allowed everyone to see the hidden power of the Myth Tower. More importantly, they valued the other party's formation and this demonic cultivation technique. Using killing intent to suppress the other party's strength was a good method. Killing continuously and not being affected by the negative emotions of the heart demons was also worth their attention. After all, this demonic cultivation technique could continuously absorb strength and could be used to create a private army. A powerful private army. Plunder. They must plunder. In the next few days, even though they weren't far from the Myth City, no one made a move. Instead, they arranged for some scouts to enter the Myth City. The formation of the Myth City hadn't been activated, so the scouts could enter easily. The internal defenses were lax, and the 4 legions couldn't see them either. It was very quiet. No one knew what the Myth Tower was planning. Empty fort stratagem? Or the attitude of the Myth City gave everyone a lot of pressure. They couldn't figure out the thoughts of the Myth City. This was especially so when the city gates were wide open. It made everyone suspicious and made all sorts of guesses. Rumble, a huge battleship, appeared in the sky above the plains outside the Myth City. On the battleship, there was a huge mystic word which instantly caused countless people to be moved. Oh my God! The mystic sect's righteous path has also come. One of the top 10 factions, the mystic sect. Many people were astonished as they looked at the huge battleship. The true major factions had appeared. Among the top 10 elites, one was the saint of the mystic sect. One could imagine how powerful they were. The Myth Tower had lured out a major faction like the mystic sect. This was something they couldn't imagine. The experts from the mystic sect were enough to give the Myth Tower a headache. What a heavy smell of blood. 2 experts stood at the bow of the battleship. They were Tianqing and Tianjue. They were the direct disciples of the mystic sect. Each of them had extremely high seniority and great authority. There should have been a massacre last night. Tianjue smiled. This place is rich in the spiritual qi of heaven and earth. There are indeed spirit veins here. Otherwise, a bad place wouldn't have turned into a paradise in the blink of an eye. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. A few figures rapidly appeared on the battleship and knelt on one knee in front of the 2. They were the scouts from the mystic sect. They were investigating every move of the Myth Tower. Explain the situation to me. The scouts immediately explained the situation in great detail. They didn't miss a single detail. It was as if they had personally participated in the battle. The 4 major legions are somewhat surprised. They're just a bunch of fools. Since the Myth Tower can destroy Sin Paradise, they must be dreaming if they want to defeat the Myth Tower with numbers. Tianjue and Tianqing were both direct disciples of the mystic sect. They were proud and arrogant. When they heard about the battle last night, they didn't take it seriously. Men, follow me to the Myth Tower. Tianjue and Tianqing had discussed this before they arrived. They would pay a visit to the Myth Tower. If the mythical tower joined their celestial sect and was willing to become a subsidiary force, they didn't mind recruiting them. As for the people outside, they didn't have any good intentions. Any one of them could go out and kill them all. If they killed the chicken to warn the monkey, who would dare to go against their celestial sect. Rumble. Another battleship appeared in the sky. Its aura wasn't inferior to the mystic sect's battleship. Another major faction had appeared. People from the Sun-Moon sect. A bright moon and a blazing sun hung above the opponent's battleship. It was the unique flag of the Sun-Moon sect. It represented the sun and moon in the sky, ruling over the world. I was wondering who had come. So it's people from the righteous path of the mystic sect. So you guys are interested in these small things. As soon as the Sun-Moon battleship appeared, a young man with sword-like eyebrows and big eyes appeared in the sky. He stood there casually like the sun and moon in the sky. He was unfathomable. Bright Moon Saint, isn't your Sun-Moon sect the same? Tianjue said indifferently. He retorted, we're all the same. There's no difference. Chapter 6:25. In the blink of an eye, the arrival of the 2 great sects made many people realize that the attraction of the mythical tower was not just limited to this. Those people, such as the bandits, could not wait for the great sects to appear. When the time came, the mythical city would fall into chaos. Even if they could not plunder resources from the mythical tower, they could still kill people and plunder resources from other clans. Wasn't that what bandits did? They were wary of the first-rate powers and the appearance of the great sections. Their appearance was tantamount to occupying the existing resources. It was not an easy task to snatch resources from them. From the bottom of their hearts, they were very ostracized. They had no choice but to push them aside. Bright Moon Saint, don't brag too much. Otherwise, you'll become a laughingstock, Taoist Master Tianju sneered. He did not think much of it. Even though the Sun-Moon Gate was also one of the 10 great powers, the Celestial Gate was more famous than the Sun-Moon Gate. Brother from the Celestial Gate, well said. Right at this moment, a few more silhouettes tore through the air and arrived. When they saw them appear, there was another uproar. This was because these people were all on the same level as them. They were either true disciples or chosen. They played an important role in the sect. For example, the person who had spoken just now was someone from the Tianluo Gate, the Ironheart Saint. He was also a chosen, but he acted like he wanted to trample on them. If it was just the Celestial Gate and the Sun-Moon Gate, they might have a fight. However, the other powers had appeared. Their strength was about the same, so no one dared to make a move. They were either true disciples or chosen. All of them had a certain level of fame in the continent. It was easy to imagine that there would be a fight when they gathered here. Brother from the St. Hall, since you're here, why hide? Another group of people appeared in the sky. It was Long Outyen. Long Outyen, what are you doing here? An arrogant young man on a warship spoke in an overbearing tone. Long Outyen had been here for a period of time, but he had not shown himself. He wanted to fish in troubled waters, but he had been exposed. He was furious. Scram! In the past, Long Outyen wouldn't have dared to do such a thing. But now that he had become much stronger and he had learned the ultimate skills of the dragon race, he took a step forward and punched out. A huge dragon roared as it slammed into Long Outyen. That warship was capable of blocking the attacks of loose immortals. The entire battleship shook uncontrollably. One punch had made them lose face. Long Outyen, you're courting death. The young man flew out and raged and attacked Long Outyen. The sun and moon flipped upside down and the void shattered. The entire battlefield was thrown into chaos. Roar! Long Outyen used the true dragon transformation and turned into a dragon man. His entire body was covered with scales, and he punched out with a dragon fist. His dragon might was unceasing, and he was actually able to suppress a true disciple of the other party. This is the dragon race's true dragon transformation. No wonder Long Outyen is so arrogant. With the true dragon transformation, Long Outyen's battle prowess has increased greatly. Reverend Luo Yun is going to suffer a great loss. True enough, once the dragon fist was unleashed, Long Outyen's attack was boosted. Coupled with his powerful defense, he was able to send Reverend Luo Yun flying in just a few moves, and he was severely injured. Long Outyen nodded and did not continue to attack. In such a situation, Long Outyen did not want to make enemies. Just now, the other party had pushed him too far, and there was a conflict between them. Naturally, he had to use the other party to establish his dominance and let them know how powerful he was. Long Outyen, you're too cruel. Reverend Luo Yun was defeated. He spat out a mouthful of blood and returned to the battleship, his face pale. After defeating Reverend Luo Yun, Long Outyen laughed and said, I'm not as good as you. Does Saint of Blood C want to have a fight with me? Although Saint of Blood C was confident that he could suppress Long Outyen, his opponent was a member of the dragon race. Moreover, the true dragon transformation was a unique skill of the dragon race that ordinary people could not learn. In other words, Long Outyen was valued by the dragon race. I'm not as good as you, Saint of Blood C sneered. Then take a punch from me, monstrous Blood C. Saint of Blood C was indeed the Saint of the Blood Alliance. As soon as he attacked, a monstrous sea of blood appeared. The weaker ones were immediately trapped in the environment, almost unable to extricate themselves. Some even kept spitting out blood. Saint of Blood C's strength has improved again. It seems that this time we've gained a lot in the secret treasury of heavenly secrets, Saint of Bright Moon said calmly. This time, for the sake of the spiritual lodes and other treasures of the Myth Tower, it seems that all the major forces have invested a lot. Boom! Saint of Blood C and Long Outyen each exchanged a blow. It seemed that they were tied, but in fact, Saint of Blood C was slightly better. Even so, the fight between Long Outyen and Saint of Blood C was already frightening enough. Long Outyen, you're just SOO. Saint of Blood C sneered. He was afraid and thought to himself, the true dragon transformation is indeed a unique skill of the dragon race. My Blood C divine fist can't tear apart his defense. He's a tough opponent. Long Outyen was also shocked. No wonder he's the Saint of the Blood Alliance. His fist technique contains willpower. If I hadn't learned the true dragon transformation, I might have suffered a big loss today. Everyone is here for the Myth Tower. Why do you have to fight over such a trivial matter? You'll be laughed at by others. Saint of Bright Moon said with a smile. He stepped forward as if he were a peacemaker. Saint of Blood C and Long Outyen both snorted coldly. In fact, neither of them intended to make a move. Obviously, it would not do them any good to make a move at this time. Instead, they would be watched by others. It was not a good thing. They had shown their strength and met the requirements. Long Outyen's attack just now was to show his strength. The Myth Tower has put up an empty city strategy. You and I should take the Myth City first. Don't you think so? Immortal Tian Ju said. Yes, let's take the Myth City first. The Myth City is very likely to be a stronghold of the Dark Clan. Taking the Myth City is equivalent to pulling out the teeth of the Dark Clan. For this reason, the people below could only say, shameless. As a famous sect, it was fine as long as there was a reason. After all, such an evil demonic skill was 100% related to the Dark Clan. Well, let's let the Myth Tower open the city and surrender. Otherwise, we'll directly destroy it. However, as soon as he finished speaking, there was another fluctuation in the space, and a group of people appeared. As soon as they appeared, each of them was like a divine sword, with a sharp aura that moved people. The Sword God sect. Someone immediately recognized them. Only the disciples of the Sword God sect could have such sword intent. "How have you been, everyone?" The newcomer was all smiles. However, those who knew him inadvertently changed their expressions. Everyone knew this person. Chapter 6, 26. When the sword maniac saint appeared, everyone was naturally shocked. What was this guy doing here? "Brother Sword Maniac, what brings you here?" the bright moon saint said with a smile. Everyone present knew about the sword deity assembly, especially this time in the heavens' secret vault. The sword deity saint child went on a killing spree, killing many elites and plundering large amounts of resources. He was incomparably tyrannical, fighting against several great experts alone. Without exception, the 10 great elites were all afraid of the Sword Saint. Therefore, when they saw the Sword Saint, they had no choice but to be on guard. It was said that when the Sword Saint was not around, the Sword Saint was in charge of the Sword Deity Guild. The Sword Maniac Saint was a cold and gloomy middle-aged man. His body emitted a sickly aura. However, everyone knew that this sickly aura represented great strength. "This time I'm here for Lin Fei," the Sword Saint said. "I forgot to tell everyone that the leader of the Myth Tower is a disciple of the Sword Deity sect. Who would have thought that he would collude with the demonic sect and ruin the reputation of the sect? I'm here to bring him back to receive punishment." Everyone's heart skipped a beat. They didn't know much about the Myth Tower. Even if they knew, it was only on the surface. They really didn't know that this Lin Fei was from the Sword Deity sect. Of course, Long Outian knew this, but he wouldn't say it out loud. "Isn't the leader of the Myth Tower Lin Jiqing?" The saint of the blood, said in dissatisfaction. How could he not understand the meaning in his tone? "No, Lin Jiqing is just Lin Fei's woman." The Sword Saint said. "Lin Fei is the mastermind. He is a true disciple of our Sword Deity sect. Are you satisfied with this explanation?" Hearing this, they knew that the greatest value of the Myth Tower was Lin Fei. At this time they were cursing, because they didn't investigate clearly and neglected such an important matter. They had the guts to slap the spy to death. In fact, this matter was related to the spy. The Myth Tower rose 3 years ago. At that time, the person in charge was Lin Jiqing. Lin Fei went to the Tianji secret vault at that time, so no one paid attention to him. Therefore, it was normal that they did not know. However, to them, this was not good news at all. Instead, it was bad news. The resources that they had plundered might not be worth anything compared to Lin Fei. "I heard that Lin Fei went to the Tianji secret vault. Could it be that he didn't die in there?" Reverend Heavenly Star deliberately asked. The sword addict saint's son glanced at Taoist Heavenly Star and said indifferently, "Lin Fei isn't dead. Otherwise, how could there be so many spirit veins?" Taoist Heavenly Star felt as if he had been slapped in the face. This question was too incorrect. Wasn't it giving the sword maniac saint child a chance to slap him in the face? Everyone secretly despised the people of the Celestial Sect of Wonders. Isn't it obvious that the sword maniac saint child is telling us that Lin Fei is in the Myth Pavilion and all the good stuff is with him? They could only watch helplessly? No, absolutely not. They just didn't know. Now that they knew, how could they be willing to give up on this fat sheep? Sword maniac saint child, the mythology tower colluded with the demonic sects and harmed our own people. Especially at this time, the mythology tower must be eradicated. Lin Fei, the main culprit, must be punished. Don't you all agree? Although the saint child of the blood sea was not afraid of the sword maniac saint child, he was unwilling to let the other party bring Lin Fei back. The saint child of the Tianluo sect saint child said, "If it wasn't for Lin Fei, there wouldn't be this colluding with the demonic sections. This kind of scum of the sect must be eradicated. Since the sword maniac saint child is here, Let's eliminate him together. It had to be said that the Saint Child of the Blood Sea and Saint Child Iron Hearts words immediately received the support of the crowd. The sword maniac Saint Child was very strong and had the backing of the sword god Saint Child. So what? After all, he didn't appear. There was no need for them to be afraid of anything. They were certain that the sword maniac Saint Child would not dare to fall out with them. The sword god sect was just a first-grade sect. They were all one of the top 10 forces. Their strength was not just for show. Everyone's target was the mythology tower. Naturally, they would not let the sword maniac Saint Child gain the upper hand. They immediately joined forces to show the sword maniac Saint Child their power. Saint Child, there's no need to talk to them. Otherwise, we'll fall into their trap. A true disciple behind the sword maniac Saint secretly transmitted with his divine consciousness. They just want to capture Lin Fei. Saint Child, you only need to let them go now. When Lin Fei appears, their alliance will naturally be broken. The sword maniac Saint Child was not someone who was good at scheming. This could be seen from his name. This time, the sword maniac Saint Child was under the orders of the guild leader to play tricks on Lin Fei and successfully bring him back. As for why he said that he was under the orders of the elders, it was just to let them back off. Unfortunately, the sword maniac Saint Child neglected one thing. The major forces here were all stronger than the sword god sect. Although he was strong, he still couldn't suppress these geniuses. The sword maniac Saint Child was filled with regret. If there was medicine for regret, the sword maniac Saint Child would definitely not say what he said just now. Instead, he exposed Lin Fei's importance, causing them to reevaluate Lin Fei. At this time, the sword maniac Saint Child could not regret. I'll let you be proud for now. When it's time to snatch Lin Fei, let's see how you can still be friendly. The sword maniac Saint Child also knew that he could not let his emotions affect his decisions now. If the guild leader came, he could definitely suppress or kill them. The Tianluo sect saint is right. Lin Fei colluded with the demon sect and wantonly harmed the human race when this continent is in chaos. This kind of matter must be judged publicly. I support everyone's decision. The sword maniac Saint Child said with a smile. Everyone despised him in their hearts. When will you, the sword maniac Saint Sun, swallow your anger and say such words? However, at this time, the sword maniac Saint Child could only make this choice. On the surface, everyone was friendly, but in private, they were discussing how to capture Lin Fei. The Sword God Guild had arranged for the sword maniac Saint Child to come personally, so Lin Fei's importance became more important. Since everyone is here, why don't we take this spirit vein first? This suggestion was immediately, unanimously agreed by everyone. High-grade spirit veins were good stuff. Every high-grade spirit vein was worth a city. If they brought it back, it would be a great merit. If they didn't seize it now, when would they? Let's do it. The true disciples and saints attacked together and attacked the ground below to seize the spirit vein below. Haha, let's do it. They finally made a move. This is great. Let's start killing. We can seize it now. The bandits who had been waiting to make a move all shouted like wolves, expressing their excitement. Rumble on the plains, the mountains shook. When the saints attacked, their combat power was extraordinary and caused a huge commotion. It could be said that they had mobilized a lot of people. Not here. Below Myth City. What an ingenious arrangement. As these people attacked, the spirit vein could be completely suppressed. Who would have thought that there was not a single spirit vein below? They instantly understood that the spirit vein was below Myth City. At the same time, Myth City, City Lord Manor. What a waste of effort. Lin Fei had been watching all this while with a cold smile on his face. How can my high-grade spirit vein be so easy to take? When can we counterattack? The Qi Lian heavenly demon was filled with killing intent. A few days ago, the Qi Lian heavenly demon had personally participated in the battle and killed many patriarchs and elders, devouring a large amount of qi. It's not time yet. Lin Fei shook his head. It's not enough to have them. The big show hasn't started yet. The Qi Lian heavenly demon also didn't know what Lin Fei wanted to do, but from his eyes, he could see that this was a big show. Otherwise, he wouldn't have gone through so much trouble. After working for nothing, they set their sights on Myth City. There are no spirit veins below. Are you guys interested in going to Myth City to take a look? The Saint of the Blood Sea said with a smile. The true inheritors and holy science present were all simple-minded. They immediately understood the meaning of this. If this continued, they might lose their advantage. They had to make their move. Once those old antiques were here, they might not have any more hope. Let's do it. Rumble, the warships were activated, and the huge warships charged toward Myth City. Brutal. This scene made everyone turn pale with fright. The major sects and factions were all extraordinary. A small Myth City couldn't possibly defend against the warships. That was what they were thinking. If Myth City's array was not good enough, they could just crush it and destroy it. Boom! Boom! 7 to 8 warships charged toward Myth City. If there were no accidents, whoosh! Just as they were about to reach Mythology City, numerous pillars of light shot up into the sky. Each pillar of light was a spirit vein that flew out from it. When the 18 huge pillars rose up, a huge barrier enveloped Mythology City. The 18 high-grade spirit veins danced and swam up and down. Rank 7 spirit vein. That's an 8 tribulations spirit vein. Oh my, there's even a rank 9 spirit vein. The spirit veins danced in the air. Everyone was stunned. Even the saints were stunned. Then they were filled with greed and desire, even though they knew that there were dozens of high-grade spirit veins below. But when the 18 spirit veins appeared in front of them, that kind of shock was indescribable. It was a strong visual impact, causing them to be filled with greed, especially the rank 9 spirit vein in the middle. It was like a blow to their head, and it was unforgettable. How many of them had seen a rank 9 spirit vein before? They might have heard of it, but they had never seen it before. The eyes of the people behind all turned red. They couldn't resist the high-grade spirit vein. They were filled with endless charm, and they couldn't even move their eyes. Seeing 18 high-grade spirit veins at once, and the rank 9 spirit vein of a king was already enough to shock them. They never thought that Myth City would be so rich. Destroy this array. The Saint of the Blood Sea was the first to attack. The Saint of the Blood Sea also came out from the Tianji secret treasury. There were a few low-grade spirit veins, but he couldn't see a single high-grade spirit vein. Naturally, he was unhappy. The high-grade spirit vein was moving up and down. It was very eye-catching, and it kept provoking everyone. Chapter 6:27. Just as they said, high-rank spiritual veins, including a 9th-rank spiritual vein, dropped a heavy bomb in the crowd and blew everyone out. On a mountain millions of miles away from the Myth City, an old man in black was sitting cross-legged on the top of the mountain. As soon as the high-rank spiritual vein appeared, the old man in black slowly opened his eyes and stared at the 9th-rank spiritual vein. A hint of joy flashed across his eyes. I didn't expect that the Myth City would use a high-rank spiritual vein as the formation eye. If I can get this 9th-rank spiritual vein, it won't be a problem for me to live for hundreds of thousands of years. The old man in black tore open the void and disappeared from the top of the mountain, thousands of miles away from the Myth City. The 3 identical old men also had their eyes on the high-grade spirit vein. Big brother, we've come to the right place. I didn't expect that the rumor outside was true. The Myth Tower does have a high-rank spiritual vein, and it's a 9th-rank spiritual vein. It's worth it for us to break out this time. The high-rank spiritual vein has appeared. Let's go, lest we get into trouble. The 3 brothers also tore open the void. Scenes like this kept appearing one after another. At their level, The rippling aura of the high-rank spiritual vein could be easily sensed. It was like the sun in the night, so eye-catching that it was hard not to be noticed. Boom! Outside the myth city, a group of inherited disciples and saints attacked the 18 pillars together. No matter how they attacked, the formation was as stable as Mount Tai. The 18 high-rank spiritual veins swam freely and were not affected by them. Each of their attacks could kill a middle-rank individual immortal and injure a high-level individual immortal. But in the face of the 18 pillars, they were helpless. This must be a 9th-rank formation. Saint of Blood, C, was proficient in formations. After a series of attacks, he couldn't help but frown. A 9th-rank formation? How is it possible? A 9th-rank formation. Only first-grade sects or superforces can have it. How can a myth city have it? As soon as Saint of Bloodsea said that, many people began to refute. I agree with Saint of Bloodsea. If this is not a 9th-rank formation, with our attacks we can even break a 7th-rank formation in an instant. Immortal Tianju looked serious. Every one of them was an expert of the sect. With so many people attacking together, it was clearly not a difficult task to blast open a formation. But now they had been attacking for the time it takes for an incense stick to burn. They had consumed a great deal of their true essence, but the array formation had not moved at all. This was not a good sign. Everyone, don't forget that the Mythology Tower is auctioning off formations. It's not surprising that they have a level 9 formation. Long Outyen suddenly narrowed his eyes and said, Also, do you see that? If I'm not mistaken, each of these 18 pillars represents a high-grade spirit vein. With 18 high-grade spirit veins as the foundation and the eye of the formation, unless a sky immortal is involved, otherwise, Long Outyen's face was expressionless, but his heart was filled with shock. He cursed, this damned Lin Fei. How could he have a level 9 formation? Did he get it from the Tianji secret storehouse? With this level 9 formation, are we going to return empty-handed? A 9th-grade formation with 18 high-grade spirit veins. This array formation was no longer something they could blast open. They had come from afar, and although they had seen the high-grade spirit vein, they knew that they could not return empty-handed. They had to bring back the high-grade spirit vein. Let's attack one of the pillars together. I don't believe that we can't break this array formation. Everyone was unwilling to give up. When someone suggested it, they immediately attacked one of the pillars together. Very soon, they were dismayed again. The pillar still didn't budge. In this world, the most dispiriting thing was undoubtedly this. They could see the high-grade spirit vein clearly. They were only one step away from it, but they could not take this crucial step. This was the saddest thing. The true inheritors and saints had failed again and again. The onlookers looked at each other in dismay. The Mythology Tower actually had a level 9 formation and used 18 high-grade spirit veins to set it up. Didn't this mean that they had wasted their efforts? Can't a level 9 formation be broken? I'm afraid we'll need a sky immortal to do it. This is too domineering. No wonder the Mythology City is still so calm. It turns out that they have a level 9 formation. Using high-grade spirit veins to set up the formation is too extravagant. Many people started to sigh. The Mythology Tower, which had been waiting to be slaughtered, suddenly showed its powerful side. It was hard not to be surprised. Lin Fei come out. The sword addict Saint attacked repeatedly, but the formation could not be broken. He was almost going crazy. This Lin Fei was more difficult to deal with than he had imagined, but at the same time he wanted to capture him. Using high-grade spirit veins to set up the formation was too extravagant. When the sword addict Saint stopped, the others also stopped. Guys, why don't you continue? A projection appeared above the cover. It was Lin Fei with a smile. For others, Lin Fei's smile was simply a provocation. Lin Fei, open the formation and surrender. The Saint of Bloodsea's eyes were like lightning, piercing the projection. He was also very angry. His eyes passed through the projection and could not hurt Lin Fei at all. Surrender? Are you out of your mind? Lin Fei laughed. You are the funniest saint I have ever seen. I really wonder how you became a saint. The saint of blood sees face darkened. If you have what it takes, hide inside for the rest of your life. Seeing that the saint of blood sea was defeated, everyone could not help but pay attention to Lin Fei. You are Lin Fei. How dare you? The sword addict saint's eyes were sharp. I advise you to open the formation. I can guarantee your life. Otherwise, you will be a traitor of the Sword God Gate. Lin Fei rolled his eyes. You said I am a traitor? Did you say that, or did the Sword God Gate say that? The sword addict saint would not be frightened by a sentence. This is the opinion of the Sword God Gate. You colluded with the demon clan and killed your compatriots. As long as you surrender, I can speak for you in front of the elders and spare your life. The sword addict saint was about to become a fairy immortal, and the sword addict saint was even more confident. At that time, even if the elders of the Sword God Gate knew that in the face of a fairy immortal, they would have to agree to teach one of them a lesson. The opinion of the Sword God Gate? Lin Fei did not believe it. I'm afraid you are the representative of the Sword God Gate. Hey, I suddenly remember that I haven't eaten yet. You can continue. Lin Fei's projection disappeared, and 18 high-level spiritual veins appeared. How arrogant! The crowd did not expect that Lin Fei would be so disrespectful. How can he still be in the mood to eat at this time? Is he really confident? Boom! Above the sky, a huge vortex suddenly appeared. All the high-level spiritual veins are mine. An excited voice came from the vortex. A hand was raised to grab the 18 high-level spiritual veins, but it chose to ignore the 18 pillars. As soon as the giant hand appeared, everyone's face changed, especially the saint and the others. Chapter 6:28. Then the saint's expressions changed. The 18 spirit veins that were originally surrounding the spirit veins immediately flew away from the attack range of the giant hand. They were all true disciples and saints with tyrannical strength, but they were clearly not a match for a half-step sky immortal. In such a situation, they did not think that these old antiques would give them face. When they recognized that they were half-step sky immortals, they retreated decisively. If they were killed, they wouldn't even be able to cry. In a breath's time, everyone retreated to a safe area. Although they knew that there would be half-step sky immortals, they did not expect them to come so quickly. They did not give them any face, and the first thing they did was to plunder the resources. Rumble! The giant hand seemed to want to grab the entire earth. Before it reached, the earth seemed to be on the verge of cracking. This person is very ambitious. He wants to take the entire myth city away. Someone saw through the trick and could not help but exclaim. Looking around, there were many cracks around the myth city. It was clear that the myth city was going to be isolated and then taken away. As long as the myth city was taken away, everything would be taken away. The saints regretted not thinking of this idea in the first place. Now that a half-step sky immortal had made a move, they would be courting death if they tried to plunder, especially these half-step sky immortals, many of whom were unaffiliated and would not give anyone face. They did things their own way, neither good nor evil. They were very difficult to deal with and not to be trifled with. It was easy to deal with those with a sect. If you ran away, you could find your sect. But these unaffiliated half-step sky immortals did not have a sect or family. If they angered the other party, they would destroy the experts of the sect. This was a common occurrence. Therefore, the big sects would rarely find trouble with unaffiliated half-step sky immortals. On the contrary, they would recruit them. Once they became sky immortals, they would owe them a favor. After the Myth City's 4 Monday rings cracked, the Myth City seemed to fly up and land in the palm. The 18 high-grade spirit veins pressed down, and the Myth City landed on the ground once again, as stable as Mount Tai. The giant hand landed on the cover formed by the 18 pillars and grabbed downwards. The entire myth city seemed to fall into the palm. But what happened next left everyone dumbfounded. The grasping move from the half-step heavenly immortal caused the myth city to become as immovable as a mountain. No matter how much force the half-step heavenly immortal exerted, the myth city would seemingly take root and would not budge at all. Just give up, Taoist Master Shroud Heaven. Don't embarrass yourself. A mocking voice came from the void. What? That's Taoist Master Shroud Heaven. When this name came out, everyone was shocked once again. Taoist Shroud Heaven was a veteran half-immortal. Supposedly, he had escaped a calamity at the hands of a heaven immortal and was a well-known figure. After more than 100,000 years had passed, everyone assumed that Taoist Shroud Heaven was dead. Old ghost, get out here. The giant hand pointed out, causing the void to completely collapse. It was extremely tyrannical, causing people's hearts to jump in fright. The smarter ones quickly retreated to avoid being affected. Myth City, City Lord Mansion. A half-step heavenly immortal has finally appeared. Lin Fei had thought that they were very patient. He didn't expect that they would show up so quickly. Husband, are you trying to establish your dominance by attracting so many people here? Lin Jiqing had appeared out of nowhere and was standing beside Lin Fei. Her brows were slightly furrowed and she was puzzled. She knew that little Z was a celestial immortal expert, but even a celestial immortal expert did not have to use such a method. Lin Fei pulled Lin Jiqing into his embrace. Establishing my dominance? How is that possible? I just need to make little Z stand outside. And who would dare to not take it seriously? Don't think that, husband, is so simple. But there are more and more half-step heavenly immortals. Perhaps even a heavenly immortal will appear. Lin Jiqing was a smart woman. She didn't continue to ask, but she was worried. That's not a problem. A few half-step heavenly immortals won't be of much use. Lin Fei squinted his eyes. You just need to know that once this matter succeeds, your husband will truly become the #1 figure in the continent. At that time, our myth tower will be able to roam freely outside. Lin Jiqing seemed to be thinking about something. My husband's wish will definitely come true. Lin Fei chuckled and raised his head, continuing to pay attention to what was happening above. Enlightened Master Shrouding Heaven made a move, but he was blocked by someone. A skinny old man appeared in front of everyone, his eyes flashing. Isn't that Enlightened Master Stone Monkey? Ordinary people might not recognize him, but as a saint child he had a good understanding of half-step heavenly immortals. He was afraid that he would cause trouble if he met him. Enlightened Master Shrouding Heaven had disappeared for a long time, and now Enlightened Master Stone Monkey had appeared. It sounded like he was quite famous, and he was also from the older generation. Shrouding Heaven, your temper is still so bad. I advise you to change it. Enlightened Master Stone Monkey chuckled. You old ghost, are you trying to snatch the high-grade spirit vein from me? Enlightened Master Shrouding Heaven's eyes flashed. This Enlightened Master Stone Monkey was also a half-step heavenly immortal. When he attacked just now, he realized that this fellow was a powerful opponent. Enlightened Master Stone Monkey said disdainfully, You still have the nerve to say that? The high-grade spirit vein is still inside. Since when did it belong to you? Old ghost, if you dare to snatch it from me, I'll kill you first. Enlightened Master Shrouding Heaven said fiercely. High-grade spirit vein, I want to snatch it. What can you do to me? Enlightened Master Stone Monkey laughed loudly, and a long staff appeared in his hand. The staff expanded infinitely, and he smashed it down from the sky. Everyone could feel the terrifying aura from the staff. A half-step heavenly immortal was indeed the closest existence to a heavenly immortal. His attack was so ferocious. If it was an ordinary city, it would have been destroyed by the staff. Oh, he resisted it? Enlightened Master Stone Monkey's staff contained the power of a half-step heavenly immortal. Even a ninth tribulation bodiless immortal would die on the spot. The people in the Myth City were shocked by the rod just now. It was because that rod was too terrifying. Boom! 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 Monstrous attacks kept falling on the sky above the Myth City, but they were all blocked by the formation. If I didn't see it with my own eyes, I wouldn't believe it. A half-step heavenly immortal is even more ferocious than us. His attack is so fierce. Saint of Blood C thought to himself. They thought that they were savage, but compared to them, they were simply too lacking. They were not on the same level at all. It was a misconception that they paled in comparison to a great wizard. Old Ghost, you're the same. I thought you were something special. Enlightened Master Shrouding Heaven finally had a reason to laugh when he saw that Old Ghost couldn't break the formation. Who said that? It's easy to break this lousy formation. Enlightened Master Stone Monkey kept attacking. His eyes flashed fiercely. Ever since he became a half-step heavenly immortal, he had broken all kinds of formations. Now that a level 9 formation was stopping him, he was very displeased. Boom! Boom! Enlightened Master Shrouding Heaven also attacked. The two of them chose a direction and, surprisingly, didn't attack again. They kept attacking one of the pillars. As half-step heavenly immortals, they could see that the 18 pillars and the 18 spirit veins of the level 9 formation should be connected. As long as they destroyed one of the pillars, the level 9 formation would be broken. By then, they wouldn't have to worry about not getting the spirit veins. Haha, count us in for this array. 3 people who looked exactly the same suddenly appeared in the void. It was hard to tell who was the eldest, who was the second, and who was the third. But when they appeared, Enlightened Master Shrouding Heaven and Enlightened Master Stone Monkey both changed their expressions. You're not dead. The 3 of them landed on the other side of the formation. They had seen what had happened just now and were secretly amazed by the power of the formation. Ha! 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 We're the 3 Death Brothers. We were born from death. Who can kill us? If you're interested, you can try. We don't mind sending you to hell. The 3 brothers' tone was exactly the same. Their voices were the same, full of a chilly aura. Those who didn't know what was going on might not think much of it. After all, they were just 3 half-step heavenly immortals. But Enlightened Master Shrouding Heaven and the others knew that anyone who looked down on them would meet a terrible end. The 3 of them were born from the world of death. Therefore, the eldest was the immortal of death, the second was the immortal of destruction, and the third was the immortal of destruction. When the 3 of them joined forces, even a heavenly immortal would have to give way. Years ago, they had killed a heavenly immortal in a great war, and their names had shaken the entire continent. Later, they were attacked by an abstruse immortal and had to flee to a lesser world. Everyone thought that they had died at the hands of an abstruse immortal, and never thought that they would survive. It was no simple feat to survive at the hands of an abstruse immortal. Even though the 3 of them had yet to become heavenly immortals, they didn't have the confidence to fight. It wasn't worth it, not at all. The Saint Child and the others looked on with wide eyes. Taoist Master Shroud Heaven and Taoist Master Stone Monkey had been so domineering and brutal, but now they were completely silent. Many people were trying to guess where they came from. How could I miss out on such a good thing? Another black-robed old man appeared with a wine gourd hanging on his waist. He waved his hand, and a group of golden bugs flew out, landed on the pillar, and started to chew. Gold-devouring bugs. Those are extinct gold-devouring bugs. Isn't he the Bug King? The black-robed old man was very calm. This level 9 formation is quite amazing. It's perfect for feeding my gold-devouring bugs. A large number of gold-devouring bugs covered the pillar, constantly devouring the spiritual energy on it, and at the same time tearing holes. Enlightened Master Insect King? Enlightened Master, Shrouding Heaven asked. Hee hee. I didn't think that someone would remember my name. Enlightened Master Insect King rubbed his chin and laughed. Enlightened Master Insect King's gaze made Enlightened Master, shrouding heaven's hair, stand on end. He regretted greeting him just now. This guy's bugs were also unfathomable. Chapter 6:29. All of a sudden, 6 half-step heavenly immortals had appeared. Every one of them was extremely strong, and even from afar they could sense the atmosphere of power that half-step heavenly immortals were emanating. The people that were gathered outside immediately retreated tens of thousands of miles after they appeared. E and the rest could still see tens of thousands of miles clearly. They didn't want to lose their lives for nothing. Rumble, the level 9 formation, started to face the attacks of the half-step heaven immortals. This process lasted for 7 days. During this time, another 4 half-step heaven immortals came, each of them famous. They didn't attack each other, they just attacked the level 9 formation together. In 7 days, everyone's impression of the Myth City deepened. The Myth City was amazing, truly amazing. A level 9 formation withstood the attacks of 10 half-step heaven immortals in 7 days. Most importantly, they were experienced experts. Many people were shocked when this news spread to the continent. Everyone thought that the Myth City could be easily taken down by so many half-step heaven immortals. Now that 7 days had passed, the Myth City was as stable as Mount Tai. It was indeed extraordinary. One of the spirit veins is about to dissipate. Enlightened being Insect King, who was sitting on an ugly worm, finally revealed a proud smile. Everyone noticed that the spirit vein was about to die. Needless to say, the heaven and earth spirit chi was used up. Haha, everyone attacked together. Once we destroy this grade 8 spirit vein, the level 9 formation will naturally be broken. Enlightened Heaven, shrouding, laughed maniacally as he slapped the formation with his giant hand. Myth City, you should be proud that you managed to stop us for 7 days. Enlightened Stone Monkey didn't stop. Every strike caused the earth to shake. It was extremely terrifying. They had spent a total of 7 days. Although they said so, in fact, each of them had a bellyful of anger. No one in the continent had ever been so cowardly. The formation is broken. Whoever dares to snatch the grade 9 spirit vein will be going against us 3 brothers. Enlightened Destruction looked at everyone fiercely. I've killed a heaven immortal before. If any of you want to die, we'll send you to hell. The Death Brothers were too strong. Back then, they could kill a heaven immortal and survive after being chased by a profound immortal. Enlightened Destruction, you worry too much. I won't interfere with the grade 9 spirit vein. Enlightened Heaven, shrouding, immediately said, 3 against 1. They obviously couldn't win. Not even Taoist Master Shroud Heaven would dare to covet something as precious as a 9th grade spirit vein. He didn't want to risk his life for it. I give up as well. The second was the Stone Monkey. Some people gave up, but some didn't. They were all calculating in their hearts. Myth City, City Lord Mansion. Sect Master, the formation is about to break. The Scarlet Refining Heavenly Demon could not help but remind. This kind of scene, Qi Lian Heavenly Demon was also on tenterhooks. The 10 half-step heaven immortals were all veteran half-step heaven immortals. Once the formation was broken, it would not be easy to deal with them. Subconsciously, he had arranged for Little Violet to kill 1 or 2 of them to deter the others. It's fine. Lin Fei had a smile on his face, looking enigmatic. If the array formation isn't broken, how can they fight over the spirit vein and draw out the experts? What? There's another expert? Lin Fei said with a smile. There's still a few truly powerful fellows. I will wait for them to appear. I believe they will definitely make a move. It's good that you're taking action. I'll be able to go on stage then. Little Purple was at the side. She had long wanted to take action. Rumble, it's going to break. The people tens of thousands of miles away all saw this scene. One of the spirit veins was about to break. Among the crowd, there was no lack of formation experts. They understood that this level 9 formation relied on the support of the spirit vein. Once one of the spirit veins was lost, the formation would be incomplete and its power would be lost. It was equivalent to the formation being broken. Could it be that Myth City is scared? They must be scared. This is like shooting themselves in the foot. Later, when the formation is broken, Myth City will vanish into thin air. Many people were already itching to make a move. Half-step heaven immortals were plundering. They were plundering small resources. They could not come empty-handed. In the depths of the void, there were two people staring at Myth City. The formation is about to break. It's time for us to make a move. I heard that many old antiques are still on the way. Myth City's level 9 formation is already so mysterious. If this continues, I'm afraid it will attract even more surprises. Giant Eye God King said to the person beside him. God King's words are reasonable. Myth City's secrets are not small. The human race might be tempted. Later, when the formation is broken, we will make a move, Heavenly Wings God King said. These two people were Giant Eye God King and Heavenly Wings God King. They were the two great God Kings of the alien race. Both of them were heaven immortal experts. Haha, it's broken. They made another move. One of the pillars suddenly broke from top to bottom. One of the 18 spirit veins instantly vaporized and disappeared. Do it! Losing a pillar was equivalent to having a hole in the formation. Who were they? Half-step heaven immortals? They were good at grasping any movement. In an instant, the formation was broken by them. The level 9 spirit vein is ours. Death Immortal laughed. The three of them grabbed the level 9 spirit vein. As for the others, they did not care at all. Someone was faster than them. A giant worm appeared above the level 9 spirit vein and opened its mouth to swallow it. Insect King, how dare you! Death Immortal was enraged. He slashed at Insect King. A terrifying destructive aura turned into a storm and rushed at Insect King. With just one slash, everyone could feel Death Immortal's extraordinary strength, especially the terrifying destructive aura. Treasures belong to the strong. You are strong enough. Although Insect King said it casually, there was a certain seriousness in his voice. He waved his hand and sprinkled a green mist. Insect King was also known as the Insect King and the Poison King. He was good at using poison, an existence that gave people headaches. The mist flew out and landed on the bodies of the three brothers. Their bodies turned green, and their skin began to rot at a terrifying rate. They were half-step heavenly immortals with formidable defensive capabilities, yet they could still rot. This shocked everyone. This Taoist Insect King was truly formidable. The three brothers suffered a great loss without knowing it. They were at a slight disadvantage. In an instant, the three of them turned into bones. You can't kill us. Death Immortal became a skeleton. Death Spear. The giant spear flew out from the void and hit the giant worm. The aura of death filled the air. Half of the giant worm's body was destroyed. Immediately, the giant worm's life force disappeared completely. Death Immortal flew out again. Death Immortal is too powerful. Even Insect King's poison can't do anything to him. Death Immortal can devour life force. No wonder the rumor says that they are born from death. Everyone secretly sucked in a breath of cold air. This was the real battle. This was the real battle. Insect King lost a giant worm. He was expressionless, but fear flashed in his eyes. The Death Brothers were indeed stronger than he had imagined. Insect King, you can die now. Venerable Destruction appeared behind him out of nowhere and slammed his palm down on Insect King. Instantly, Insect King's body exploded. Fake! Venerable Destruction's attack missed, and the white bones shot out in a certain direction. A figure appeared. Venerable Insect King, what a good move you have! After Insect King was forced to retreat, Death Immortal and Destruction Immortal suppressed the rank 9 spiritual vein. Boom! A terrifying aura descended from the sky. The Death Brothers' expression changed. Chapter 630. Everyone was shocked by the appearance of the terrifying aura. Many people were scared out of their wits and fell from the sky. Half-Step Sky Immortal was shocking enough, but now another terrifying aura appeared. It was countless times more terrifying than before, making people feel suffocated. But that wasn't important. What was important was what Death Immortal said. Sky Immortal. Fuck! A Sky Immortal had come, a powerful one, a peerless powerhouse of the continent. Half-Step Sky Immortals were common on the continent, but Sky Immortals were few and far between. Each of them rarely showed themselves, afraid of facing tribulation and ascending to the heavenly realm. Now a Half-Step Sky Immortal had come, followed by a Sky Immortal. Wasn't this like an adult bullying a child? Saints and Half-Step Sky Immortals were all children. Sky Immortals were adults who could kill countless Half-Step Sky Immortals with a single move. A Sky Immortal powerhouse being attracted by a myth city was unimaginable. Importance, incomparable importance. Death Immortal, you forgot so quickly. When a huge eye appeared in the sky, people immediately cried out, "He's a God King of the Outsiders." My God, a God King of the Outsiders has appeared. That's God King Giant Eye, one of the 10 God Kings of the Outsiders. In 3 years, the Outsiders had taken over half of the continent. Everyone knew how strong they were, especially the 10 God Kings. Each of them was a Sky Immortal, powerful antiques that had lived for countless years. In these 3 years, the God Kings hadn't fought. People had only heard of them, but now they had appeared. This was no small matter. Now that the God Kings had appeared, what about the others? Everyone started to worry. You're God King Giant Eye. Death Immortal's expression changed. To think that you're still alive. Ha ha ha, you fought me back then and didn't die. Instead, you became a Sky Immortal. Isn't that surprising? God King Giant Eye laughed. Death Immortal, you 3 are not bad. Join us, and we'll give you an army. The Giant Eye God King knew the 3 Death Brothers back in the day. They were domineering figures on the battlefield, killing a Celestial Immortal and countless half-step Celestial Immortals. Everyone remembered them as valiant existences. Later on, when the Xian Immortals attacked, they began to flee. Giant Eye God King thought they were dead. Of course, Giant Eye God King wanted to recruit them to be his subordinates and expand his own forces. When the time comes, this would be a great merit to the variant humans. God King Giant Eye, who do you think you are? Back then, us 3 brothers roamed the continent. If you want us to join the alien races, I'm afraid you won't be able to tolerate us. The Death Immortal sneered. Besides, even if you're a Heaven Immortal, us 3 brothers can still kill you. The 3 brothers had the strength. Even though the Outsiders were huge, they had nothing to fear. What was so amazing about the 10 great God Kings? Once the 3 of them advanced to Celestial Immortals, even the 10 God Kings would be killed. So you don't want to join us? You want to be enemies with us? You should know that if you offend us, you won't have a day of peace in this world. A peaceful day? We 3 brothers were born from death. What do you think you are? You talk too much. At worst, we'll just fight. The other half-step Heaven Immortals frowned at the appearance of the foreign race's godly king. They had made countless calculations, but they had missed out on this foreign race. They had not expected them to interfere. What about you? If you join the foreign race, you won't die. God King Giant, I said lightly. Even though you're a Heaven Immortal, if you want to kill us, a God King like you won't be able to. Venerable Insect King said. Haha, what about me? Another horrifying aura descended. Godly King, another godly king. God King, heavenly wings. The half-step Heaven Immortals' faces darkened. One God King was enough to give them a headache. They did not expect another God King to come. Two God Kings appeared. Even the three Death Immortals' faces changed. They could kill Heaven Immortals because they did not need to be distracted. With two God Kings, the pressure was great, especially the God King of the alien race. He was strong to begin with, and he was a Heaven Immortal. Now it's your turn to think. God King Giant, I was confident. He was not afraid that they would not agree. With two God Kings here, they would kill whoever resisted, even though it was a pity for these experts. Boom! The people within tens of thousands of miles wanted to leave when they saw this change. A battle between Heaven Immortals had too many repercussions. They might die here today. Many people began to regret. There was a loud, rumbling sound. A black mass of people appeared, surrounding the perimeter. Not good, the alien race army. And it's an elite army. As the alien race army appeared, everyone's expression changed. They did not expect the alien race army to be lying in ambush nearby. They did not notice it at all. They had fallen into the alien race army's ambush. From the beginning, the alien race army had set up an ambush, waiting for them to take the bait. Those who resist will be killed without mercy. Saintess White Fox appeared in the sky. Her voice rang in everyone's hearts. Resist? With two godly kings here and the outsider army surrounding them. Even if they wanted to resist, only death awaited them. Whoever jumped the furthest would definitely die when the godly kings attacked. I will join the alien race. Venerable Bug King was the first to choose to submit. At this time, if he did not submit, he would die. Even though he was strong, compared to a God King, he would be easily killed. After living for so many years, he knew what to choose. God King Giant Eye and Heavenly Wings were very satisfied. This time, they had really made a great contribution. They brought these half-step Heaven Immortals back, and their strength increased greatly. You better stay here, or I don't mind killing you. God King Giant Eye's sharp gaze landed on the group of saints. With one sentence, they did not dare to move recklessly. If a God King attacked, they would die without a doubt, no matter how strong they were. The originally contentious situation fell into the control of the alien race God Kings in the blink of an eye. When the alien race advanced to Heaven Immortal, they were naturally stronger than human Heaven Immortals. To deal with two God Kings, at least 4 human Heaven Immortals were needed. None of the half-step Heaven Immortals who cultivated to this level were fools. They knew the difference between resisting and surrendering very well. We will join. I will join too. None of the half-step Heaven Immortals chose to resist. Perhaps the moment they attacked, the God Kings would be able to kill them. This time, they had really suffered a huge loss. They were originally living a carefree life, but in the blink of an eye, they had to work for others. It was really indescribable. Lin Fei, show yourself with your Heaven Immortals. God King Giant, I grasped the situation. Everything was under control. What? Myth City has Heaven Immortals. When they heard this, everyone was frightened. Since when were Heaven Immortals as common as cabbages? 2 popped out, and then another one popped out? How could Myth City have Heaven Immortals? This did not fit the situation. If Myth City had Heaven Immortals, then what about their previous actions? The half-step Heaven Immortals' expressions changed. Their faces turned red. If that was really the case, they would become clowns. At the same time, they suddenly understood something. Why did the 2 God Kings of the alien race come together? Could it be because of the Myth City's Heaven Immortals? Myth City was so calm. Could it be that there was a Heaven Immortal overseeing it? Everyone's mind spun quickly. This news was really hard for them to accept. 2 God Kings came to my Myth City. As the city lord, of course I have to come out. Not far away, Lin Fei appeared with Little Purple. That purple-haired kid is a Heaven Immortal? How is that possible? There is no Heaven Immortal aura. The half-step Heaven Immortals frowned and stared at him, as if trying to see traces of a Heaven Immortal. Heaven immortals were hard to advance to. They all knew that such a young guy appeared, and he was even a heaven immortal. It was really hard to imagine. They suspected that it was fake. Lin Fei, you put on such a big show. You just want to use a heaven immortal to establish your might. Unfortunately, you can't achieve that. Giant Eye God King said with a smile. Right now, Giant Eye God King was flushed with success, and so was Heavenly Wings God King. Capturing Lin Fei was equivalent to controlling everything in the Myth Tower. More importantly, there was also the Pill God behind him. At that time, the alien race would be in an invincible position, especially after witnessing this Level 9 array formation. Even they had never seen this kind of array formation. 10 half-step heaven immortals used 7 days. This Level 9 array formation was so powerful that even they, as heaven immortals, were tempted. Yeah, I wanted to establish my might. Lin Fei shook his head, but no matter how they looked, there was no disappointment on his face. Now it has been destroyed by you. When everyone heard this, they couldn't help but frown. What was this? Couldn't you at least have some anger on your face? No matter how they tried to listen, they couldn't hear any anger at all. Instead, it was calm and indifferent. What was this? However, they all saw what Lin Fei admitted. Heaven immortal. Was that purple-haired guy really a heaven immortal? Giant Eye God King said so. In addition to what Lin Fei said, all the half-step heaven immortals broke out in cold sweat. They all wanted to fight for the spirit vein and plunder the resources of the Myth Tower. They didn't care about the other party, but they never thought that they were the prey in the other party's eyes. This was the first time they, the half-step heaven immortals, encountered such a thing. Heaven immortals were powerful. It would be extremely easy for them to kill any one of them. No one knew who they would kill when the time came. One of them wouldn't be able to escape. Lingering fear and terror filled their hearts. They had seen powerful people, but this was the first time they encountered someone who was willing to use a high-grade spirit vein as a trap. They were so close, and they would become the target of the other party's display of might. Lin Fei, as long as you join our alien race, we can let bygones be bygones. We can even promise you a high position. This opportunity only comes once. Cherish it. Killing Lin Fei wasn't worth it. If they brought Lin Fei back and let him join the alien race, there would be more benefits. Moreover, there was a pill god behind him. The benefits were much better than killing him. They were willing to give Lin Fei a chance. Chapter 631. I didn't expect the Divine King to think so highly of Lin Fei. The treatment is really different. If Lin Fei joins the outsiders, we'll be the unlucky ones. The stunned holy sons had complicated expressions on their faces. Clearly, they could tell from the words of the foreign race's God King that Lin Fei was highly valued. As long as Lin Fei agreed to join the foreign race, they would be the ones to suffer. One sentence from the Divine King made them not dare to move or use any tricks. The power of life and death was in the Divine King's hands. A mere Lin Fei was worthy of a foreign race god, king, personally speaking to him. What an honor that was! Even though they were the saints of their sex, the Sky Immortal Patriarchs wouldn't speak to them so politely. Everyone below the Sky Immortal stage was like an ant. They weren't worthy of being personally spoken to. They couldn't understand the feeling of being valued. Everyone was waiting to see what Lin Fei would choose. In theory, the possibility of him joining the foreign races was very high. With two great divine kings here, under the encirclement of the army, as long as there was nothing wrong with anyone's head, they would definitely choose to join the foreign races. Who do you think you are to make Master agree? Little Purple's long hair fluttered in the wind. His eyes were cold. Believe it or not, I'll kill you with one slash. Boom! A terrifying aura descended, not any weaker than the two Divine Kings' auras. Another Sky Immortal expert. If they were doubtful earlier, yet at this moment, they truly believed that this violet-haired kid was a Heavenly Immortal Realm expert. supreme expert. Myth City had a sky immortal. From now on, Myth City would no longer be an ordinary faction. It would become a first-rate faction, and a key one at that. We all misjudged. After fighting for so long, we became a joke. Venerable Insect King laughed bitterly. He had been tricked. This kid is detestable. Venerable Shrouding Heaven's eyes flashed with cold light. Kill him, another half-step sky immortal said coldly. As half-step sky immortals, they were all powerhouses. Only sky immortals could compete with them. They had no choice but to join the outsiders now. They didn't dare to do anything to the Divine King, so their hatred naturally fell on Lin Fei. They never thought that if it weren't for their greed, they wouldn't have fallen into the Divine King's hands. He really is a heavenly immortal. The expressions of the people on the periphery changed. The target they were planning to plunder was actually a celestial immortal. Too ruthless. The Myth City was using them to establish their might. Their methods were too cruel. Even the saints and the experts from various places couldn't help but feel fear in their hearts. They were unknowingly frightened. They had thought themselves to be ferocious wolves. Who would have thought that in the blink of an eye, the other party would become a ferocious tiger? They had almost become the sacrificial lambs to establish their dominance. He had seen cruelty, but he had never seen such cruelty. Above the Outlander army, the Holy Daughter White Fox had a look of resentment in her eyes. Lin Fei, with 2 God Kings here today, let's see how you are going to act rashly. It would be best if you end up getting killed by the God Kings. Lin Fei brought a celestial immortal with him. His identity suddenly became mysterious. On the continent, the number of celestial immortals was limited. More importantly, this celestial immortal was too young. Giant Eye Divine King and Heavenly Wings Divine King released their auras to resist Little Violet's heaven immortal pressure. Lin Fei, could this be your choice? Giant Eye Divine King stared straight at Lin Fei. Lin Fei said proudly, I, Lin Fei, have killed countless people along the way. Let alone you 2 God Kings. Even mystic immortals can't shake my heart. You want me to join the Outlander race? You don't have the qualifications. Giant Eye Divine King inviting someone to join the Outlander race was a great honor. Who would refuse an ordinary person? Lin Fei instead refused. This undoubtedly made Giant Eye Divine King lose face. Good. Don't think that you can sit back and relax just because you have a celestial immortal holding down the fort. This king will let you know the battle prowess of a celestial immortal. Giant Eye Divine King snorted coldly. Enlightened Insect King, you guys capture Lin Fei. Nothing must go wrong. Heavenly Wings Divine King, you and I will join forces. Good. This king also wants to know just how powerful a demonic immortal is. Heavenly Wings Divine King raised his brows. A great battle was about to break out. Little Violet, you just have to delay them. Lin Fei sent a voice transmission with his divine sense. Just 2 fellows who haven't even reached the peak early celestial immortal realm. Little Violet snorted coldly. Flaming saber. In the void, a flaming saber slashed towards the 2 God Kings of the Outlander race. The blazing aura caused the expressions of the half-step celestial immortals to change drastically. Facing the saber, their scalps went numb. Strong, too strong. The moment this celestial immortal attacked, his aura swallowed the galaxy. He was invincible and domineering. Facing this saber, they would be killed on the spot. Worldly poison. Enlightened Insect King was the first to attack. Since he was unwilling to join the Outlander race, he had to get himself a good position. Poison filled the sky and shrouded the location where Lin Fei was. Attack! We definitely can't let Enlightened Insect King attack first. We must capture Lin Fei. Once Enlightened Insect King attacked, they instantly understood his intentions and immediately attacked Lin Fei. No matter how they looked at it, Lin Fei would not be able to escape this time. The celestial immortals were blocked by the two god kings and lost the chance to support them. It's best if Lin Fei dies in their hands, then everything will be over. The true disciples and saints had the same thought in their eyes. Lin Fei was too despicable. He created such a big scene and wanted to use them to establish his dominance. If he really succeeded in establishing his dominance, the sects behind them would really lose face and become the laughingstock of the continent. They hated Lin Fei to death from the bottom of their hearts. Apart from this, there was also a kind of jealousy. They were true disciples and saints. In terms of status, none of them was higher than Lin Fei. However, in the eyes of the god kings, they were disdainful. Instead, they valued Lin Fei so much. Also, Lin Fei, a person from a small dynasty, had a celestial immortal as his subordinate. This undoubtedly made their eyes red with jealousy. A celestial immortal as his subordinate? Damn, what kind of concept was that? With such a celestial immortal, he could go anywhere in the continent. Even the big sects had to give face to Lin Fei. They believed that they had the advantage, that each of them was stronger than Lin Fei. However, they could not gain the favor of the celestial immortal. Even if it was guidance, they would still benefit from it. Yet, Lin Fei had a celestial immortal as his subordinate. There was probably no one else like him in the entire continent. This was what it meant to be truly awesome. If they were not jealous and envious, then they were all saints. Now that they had made their move, they could not wait for Lin Fei to die. Only with this guy's death could they feel better and not have a bellyful of pent-up anger with nowhere to release it. Rise! The half-step celestial immortal attacked with all his might. The besieged Lin Fei disappeared right before their eyes, causing their attack to miss. Chapter 632. What's going on with these fire pillars? Huge pillars of fire rose up in the entire myth city. The scorching aura caused them to smell an uneasy aura. The pillars of fire appeared very quickly. Above each pillar of fire, there was a thick fire dragon coiling around it, releasing a blazing aura, making it hard for people to understand what was going on. Where did Lin Fei go? The half-step sky immortals missed their attack. They didn't even know how Lin Fei disappeared. No need to look. I'm here. In the sky, Lin Fei's figure appeared. At this moment, Lin Fei's expression was dignified, like a saint, making people want to worship him. Activate. Lin Fei's words were solemn and sacred. Roar. A fire dragon flew out and soared into the clouds, raining down flames. It was too fast for people to react. Heaven and earth divine fire formation. Burn as much as you want. Boom! A sky full of flames appeared out of thin air. Everything within the perimeter was covered in flames, red flames. Lin Fei also sat down in the void. It's just a formation. Once I catch you, the formation will be broken. Venerable Insect King and the others didn't care. A giant insect flew out. Zhang Kong wanted to swallow Lin Fei and become the first person to catch Lin Fei. Swish! As soon as the giant insect appeared, a fire dragon rushed out of the void. Zhang Kong breathed out fire, which fell on the insect. Humph! My insect has a strong defense. You think you can defeat it with fire? Venerable Insect King snorted. However, before he finished speaking, the giant insect, which was usually successful, rolled on the ground in flames and evaporated in an instant. How could this be? How could my insect be burned to death? Venerable Insect King was dumbfounded. His insect was burned to death, just like that. What a joke. How could this be? He wanted to say that, but the scene in front of him told him that his insect was really dead. 2 insects in a row today. It was a heavy loss. Under the formation, you'll all die today. There's nowhere to run. Lin Fei was still sitting, cross-legged. His cold eyes caused people's hearts to turn cold. Divine Flame, Fire Beacon Mountain, slaughter without mercy. Boom, boom, boom. Tall volcanoes stretched out endlessly, crushing down towards them. Meteors rained down from the sky. Pooh! A meteor shower landed on a profound sage. That profound sage let out a pained cry as his body began to burn. In just a few breaths of time, he was burned into nothingness. Ah, it hurts. Not good. These flames are dangerous. Retreat. Meteors rained down from the sky, raining down on the crowd. At the same time, they also rained down on the army of the outsiders. In an instant, the originally controlled situation turned chaotic. We've been trapped by a formation. Hurry up and break the formation. I don't want to die. When they reached the end, they were blocked by a huge pillar of fire. Miserable screams rang out incessantly, causing their scalps to go numb. How could there be such a terrifying formation? My teleportation talisman is useless. The void space has been sealed. As all sorts of methods failed, the crowd felt endless fear descend upon them. They had never thought that they would be met with such terrifying flames so soon after encountering the army of the outsiders. Volcanoes, meteors, fire giants, they kept appearing inside the formation, killing the crowd and forcing them to retreat. Faced with this formation, they were actually unable to withstand it. The terrifying flames would burn them to death if they came into contact with even a little bit of their bodies. Even though they were wearing battle armor, they were still unable to withstand the scorching flames. Everyone was afraid. This was the beginning of a nightmare. Mythological city. Everyone saw the flames that filled the sky. Even though they were inside the formation, they could still feel the fear from the heat. They would never forget such a terrifying scene for the rest of their lives. Even those as strong as sages and emperors were burned to death in a few breaths of time under the attack of the flames. Even their origin spirits were burned to death. The flames seemed to be their nemesis. Everyone was numb. All that was left in their hearts was fear. What a terrifying formation. When did this guy set it up? City, Lord's mansion. The scarlet refining heavenly demon and the others looked at the scene in the sky and gasped. The flames seemed to be even more terrifying than before. Yeah, do you see those loose immortals? Their defense was broken in an instant. They could barely resist it. Sage Reincarnation squinted his eyes. This is really a show of strength. I think Lin Fei's formation is not simple. It's not just a show of strength. Invincible True Immortal looked at the scene in the sky and frowned. Could it be that Lin Fei wants to break through and become a celestial immortal? Everyone's eyes lit up. Haha, that must be it. Sect leader is really good. Swallowing the Milky Way and breaking through in one go. Amazing. Truly amazing. They all knew that Lin Fei's strength increased very quickly. However, they never thought that he would set up such a formation to increase his strength in one go. At this moment, Lin Jiqing also understood her husband's words. Sister Lin, my husband, will he be okay? Jean Feng was still very worried. The two divine kings of alien races were not that easy to resist. Our husband dared to set up such an unprecedented formation. He must have taken all the changes in the situation into consideration. Lin Jiqing said, but her face was still full of worry. It was too risky. The formation wreaked havoc. In less than a moment, thousands of people died. The half-step celestial immortals carefully resisted the attack of the rain of fire. All of their faces were filled with horror. This seemingly insignificant rain of fire could actually break their defense. Terrifying. It was too terrifying. Kill him, or we will all die here. The terrifying flames had already made their faces change, especially this formation. It was endless and could not be broken at all. The void was also sealed. They had never seen a formation that could make them feel endless danger. For a moment, they all attacked at the same time. They did not care about their orders and tried to kill Lin Fei. Facing such a domineering attack, even celestial immortals had to take a step back. They did not believe that Lin Fei would dare to look down on them. A flame giant appeared above Lin Fei's head. This flame giant was incomparably huge. Its eyes were closed, and its divine aura rippled. With a slap of its giant palm, their joint attack was disintegrated. How is this possible? He actually blocked our attack. Is he also a celestial immortal? The group of half-step celestial immortals looked at each other, unable to believe the scene. They could not do anything to the alien race's divine kings, but they could not kill an itinerant immortal? Oh no, the formation is shrinking. Suddenly, itinerant immortal cried out. The shrinking of the formation meant that the formation's power was gradually increasing, and it would kill them inside the formation. Lin Fei, you are so ruthless. You actually want to kill us all in one fell swoop. I'm afraid this is your real intention. As soon as these words came out, everyone understood why the Myth City did not make a move. Instead, they allowed them to attack. This was the real purpose. You know too late. Lin Fei opened his eyes, which flickered with a fiery light. The giant Eye Divine King and the Heavenly Wings Divine King became more and more shocked as they fought. With their combined strength, they actually could not kill the other party. Instead, it was a draw. Heavenly Wings Divine King, go capture Lin Fei and break this formation. When the formation kept shrinking, the giant Eye Divine King and the Heavenly Wings Divine King sensed it. If this continued, they would suffer heavy losses on this trip, especially the giant Eye Divine King. Okay, the Heavenly Wings Divine King had long examined the formation and was extremely shocked. He could not find any flaws in the formation, but time waited for no man. It was very difficult to break the formation. They had never thought that Lin Fei had schemed against them and still had such a terrifying formation in his hands. Where do you think you're going? Little Violet was the only one who knew Lin Fei's goal. Little Violet, who had transformed, returned to her true form. Her huge body blocked in front of the Heavenly Wings Divine King. She communicated with the divine fire, and a wall of fire appeared out of nowhere, protecting Lin Fei within. If you want to deal with my master, you have to defeat me first. Little Violet let out a long howl. The divine fire was a saber, and the sky was filled with fire sabers that slashed at the two foreign race divine kings. Ever since Little Violet succeeded in atavism, she could imperceptibly control the divine fire. Now, inside this formation, the divine fire was invincible and could be used for her own purposes. Little Violet's combat strength soared by a great deal again. Although the giant Eye Divine King and the Heavenly Wings Divine King were not afraid of fire, for some reason, this fire gave them a terrifying sense of danger. Rumble, the formation shrank, and a huge millstone crushed down from the sky in a grandiose manner. The sages and emperors were the first to be unable to withstand it. Their bodies were crushed, and inside the formation, there was a sea of blood. After that, the low-level itinerant immortals also began to have their bodies shattered. We miscalculated. The giant Eye Divine King and the Heavenly Wings Divine King felt their faces burning. This time, they had been schemed against by someone. The other party was a demonic immortal with powerful combat strength that could block their attacks. This was the most depressing thing. Damn that Lin Fei. He's using a demonic art to break through to the next realm. The giant Eye Divine King's expression changed drastically again. Sitting cross-legged in the sky, the aura in Lin Fei's body continued to strengthen and rise. They had never seen such a domineering cultivation method. There were hundreds of thousands of people here, including the foreign race elites. Now they had all turned into pure power. Demon! Lin Fei must be a demon. How can he contain so much power? Isn't he worried that his Dantian can't withstand it and self-destruct? As the divine fire millstone descended, people were constantly killed. The two foreign race divine kings were blocked, and the half-step heaven immortals could not break through the defense. The situation was one-sided. It made people grit their teeth, but they were powerless. 3 full days passed. The two foreign race divine kings fought against the demonic immortal Little Violet. but they were unable to break through the defense. The millstone was already above them, making them feel great danger. In these 3 days, they used all sorts of methods, but they just could not kill this demonic immortal. Every time they severely injured the other party would devour the divine fire to recover. It was in a state of inactivity. Inside the formation, apart from the saint and the half-step heaven immortals, everyone else died under the divine fire's attack. It could be said that they were completely defeated. Giant I Divine King, Lin Fei hid too deeply. We can't go on anymore. We must break through the formation and leave. Chapter 633. For the next 3 days, the Heavenly Flame Formation's millstone kept crushing all the experts. Apart from a limited number of experts, almost everyone else was killed by the formation. At every moment, an expert would be killed by the formation. We surrender. We surrender. I don't want to die. I'm a rogue immortal. I don't want to die. Lin Fei, our sect won't let you off if you kill us. We'll kill you. Everyone in the formation was going crazy. The formation was crushing them, and they were in complete despair. The Heavenly Flame Formation was too powerful. No matter how they tried to break it, it wouldn't budge. There were formation experts present, but they couldn't see the flaws in the formation either. At the core, they could only watch as one expert after another died to the formation's attacks. The true disciples and the holy sons had also perished one after another. This was something they had never imagined would happen. They were filled with despair and regret. In the air, a flame giant was protecting Lin Fei. Lin Fei's aura kept rising until he reached the half-step sky immortal level. At that moment, only the half-step sky immortal and 2 alien godly kings were left in the formation. Everyone else was dead. Lin Fei opened his eyes, and a brilliant light flashed in them. Then he opened a hole in space, leaving behind a sharp aura. I've finally reached the half-step sky immortal level. His eyes were wide open, and his body was filled with immense power. Every punch he threw seemed to be able to blast a hole in the world. Lin Fei, let us go. We'll let bygones be bygones. Taoist master, shrouding the heavens, was in a sorry state. He had been resisting for days and was on the verge of collapsing. The flame millstone was too powerful, and when the unknown flames landed on their bodies, their defenses became useless. Because of this, they were restricted. Let us go, and we won't come here again, Taoist Master Insect King said. They were all scared witless. 200,000 to 300,000 experts had been killed by a super formation right in front of them, and they had almost become one of them. Fear, boundless fear. In their eyes, Lin Fei was no longer a scheming person. Instead, he had become a ferocious tiger that was ready to devour people. Even though Lin Fei only had the strength of a half-step heavenly immortal, they did not think that his strength would stop there. Hundreds of thousands of people were killed. How terrifying was that? Their only hope now was that Lin Fei's strength had reached its limit and he was unable to continue absorbing. This was their last chance at survival. Hee, do you think that if a bandit barged into someone's house, robbed them, killed them, and set them on fire, and the owner of the house was stronger than the bandit would just pretend that nothing had happened? Lin Fei's eyes flashed with coldness. Today, none of you will leave. I'll use you to level up. Let's do it. Let's fight him to the death. His strength is at most slightly higher than ours. We don't have to be afraid of him at all. His strength is not stable. Kill him, kill him. Lin Fei wasn't going to give them a way out, so they had no choice but to fight. Hand of heaven shrouding. One shrouding the heavens. Taoist shrouding the heavens was the first to act. He pushed his strength to the limit, causing rumbling sounds to echo out as a huge hand slammed toward Lin Fei. Almighty God of fate, I sacrifice my lifespan to unleash the art of fate. Lin Fei's long hair fluttered in the wind as a power descended from the sky. The art of fate was like a river that would last for all eternity. He's crazy. That's a branch of the grand art of fate. Block it, block it. The half-step heavenly immortals' faces fell. They had all heard of the art of fate before. They had never imagined that Lin Fei would use the fate art and even burn his own lifespan. He was trying to kill them. The art of fate flashed. An enormous hand vanished. Taoist, shrouding the heavens' face, fell as a suit of armor appeared in front of him. The art of eternal river swept forward, and Taoist, shrouding the heavens, thought back to his life. He let out a long cry of unwillingness and perished along with his nascent divinity in the art of fate. Taoist, shrouding the heavens, was the first, Taoist insect king was the second, and Taoist stone monkey was the last. Lin Fei was currently invincible in the river of fate, slaughtering thousands upon thousands of enemies. At the same time, an invisible power flowed into Lin Fei's body. Under the burning of his vast lifespan, Lin Fei's black hair turned white again. Let's go. When Giant Eye God King and Heavenly Wings God King saw this scene, they sensed endless danger from the mighty river of destiny. Lin Fei was too crazy. He actually burned his lifespan to kill half-step heavenly immortals. More importantly, he killed all of them in one go. The art of fate was extremely terrifying. They had suffered from it before. A madman burning his lifespan, an extremely powerful monster immortal. With danger looming over them, they had no choice but to fight with their lives on the line. They had never expected this result. Giant Eye God King turned into a giant eye. This giant eye was formed from thousands of smaller eyes. It was extremely shocking, and his heart shook. Heavenly Wing God King, blast this place with all your strength. This is a flaw. Lin Fei opened his eyes again, his killing intent thick. Two great God Kings, since you are here, why are you in such a hurry to leave? The art of fate rushed towards the two great God Kings again, wanting to kill them. Even if it could not kill them, it wanted to injure them. Little Violet's purple hair fluttered. Her killing intent locked onto Heavenly Wing God King. She spat out a mouthful of purple fire, and a giant bird flew out. With a long cry, she rushed over. Whoosh! The river of fate slashed down on the eyes of the giant Eye God King. Instantly, countless eyes shattered as blood splattered across the sky. A massive amount of energy separated out. Lin Fei opened his mouth and swallowed this energy. Rip! Little Purple's most powerful and ferocious attack also chopped off half of Heavenly Wing's Divine King's body. In a one-on-one battle, Little Purple won. Moreover, she had used her killer move, Demonic Immortal Flame, to burn the void. Rumble! The world suddenly darkened. A giant hand broke through the array and grabbed Heavenly Wing God King and Giant Eye God King. Then the sky returned to normal, as if it had never appeared. Lin Fei, just you wait. We will come again. Giant Eye God King's extremely resentful voice came from the distant horizon. Little Violet, there is no need to chase. Lin Fei stopped Little Violet from continuing the chase. It was clearly a God King who attacked just now. It was not appropriate to continue the chase. Protect me. Once they left, Lin Fei sat cross-legged in the void again, refining the power left behind by the two great God Kings. This harvest was far better than killing the half-step Heaven Immortal. There was no one else in the huge array except for Lin Fei and Little Violet. Chapter 634. In the Battle of Myth City, everyone was wiped out. When this news spread out, no one believed it at first. Everyone was paying attention to the progress of Myth City, from the various factions to the 10 factions to half-step Heaven Celestials, all the way to the God King. One could say that everyone knew about it. A few days later, a scout came and realized that Myth City was surrounded by a formation. A terrifying blood stench spread, and in the end, they found living people nearby. Thus, this news spread like wildfire. Myth City had a heaven celestial. This news shocked everyone. Combining everything that happened before, they finally understood why Myth City was so calm from start to finish. This shocking news couldn't be compared to the last one. Myth City Lin Fei used a powerful formation to wipe out all factions, experts, and even half-step heaven celestials. This news spread like wildfire. Soon, many experts stepped forward and recounted the events that had taken place that day. Demon Lin's name spread like wildfire. No one could accept this outcome. Myth City hid so deeply and even wiped out the elites of the alien races and injured 2 god kings. Any one of these was enough to shake the continent. In the sinister demon sect. When this news came back, the entire Demon Gate was shocked. Myth City had a heaven celestial? Lin Fei became a demon? A heaven-defying technique to raise his strength? Killed half-step heaven celestials? Defeated god kings? No matter which news it was, everyone sucked in a deep, cold breath. 200,000 to 300,000 experts were killed just like that. Brutal. It was just too brutal. Then, they couldn't help but feel fortunate. Back then, Myth City spread the news of a high-grade spirit meridian and large amounts of resources. The demon sect was tempted and was prepared to hit them when they were down to snatch resources. Thankfully, the demon lord didn't agree. Otherwise, we would have suffered huge losses. Lin Fei is too terrifying. To raise his strength, he set up such a huge show. This is too terrifying. Meeting hall. When the various demon sect elders heard the news from the scouts, all of them were dumbfounded. Only the demon lord was the calmest one. As expected, I was right. Lin Fei is truly not a simple person. Not only does he have a heavenly immortal holding down the fort, he even has a heavenly immortal expert holding down the fort. This time, the Myth City has truly become famous. The demon lord stood up. Prepare a gift for me. I will personally make a trip to the Myth City. He walked towards the void and disappeared. From this moment on, Lin Fei was already worthy of the demon lord's friendship. This ruthlessness, this scheming, the Demon Gate needed such an ally. Prepare the gift immediately. All the big shots knew that this was an opportunity to befriend Lin Fei. Daughter, come with me personally. The demon lord appeared in a space. Did something happen to Lin Fei? Ever since she came in, Nangong Chanchan's heart hadn't been able to calm down. Every time she was worried about Myth City, she would suddenly hear her father's words and think that something had happened. Unexpectedly, the devil lord burst into laughter. And you say you're not worried about that brat Lin Fei. Nangong Chanchan didn't know why she was worried. Ever since she returned from the Tianji's secret vault, Lin Fei had left a deep impression on her. She loved to listen to his every move. After returning from the Tianji's secret vault, Nangong Chanchan was really worried that something had happened to Lin Fei. Fortunately, nothing had happened. Back then, if it wasn't for Lin Fei, she wouldn't have had a fortuitous encounter. But not long after she returned, Lin Fei made such a big scene. Only then did Nangong Chanchan know that she was worried about Lin Fei and couldn't wait to rush over. Nangong Chanchan blushed. I'm not worried. After all, if it wasn't for Lin Fei's help, I wouldn't have had a fortuitous encounter. Father, quickly tell me what happened to Lin Fei. What kind of person was the demon lord? He could lead the demon sect and suppress all the big shots. How could he not see the change in his daughter? That brat Lin Fei is really impressive. In the demon lord's impression, only Lin Fei was to his liking. He set up a big show and killed at least 200,000 experts in one go to increase his strength. Being one of the top 10 prodigies is already amazing. I didn't expect that this Lin Fei would be even more tyrannical. Now he is known as Demon Lord Lin in the mainland. He killed 200,000 martial artists. Nangong Chanchan's mouth was agape. It was hard to imagine such a result. In her impression, Lin Fei would definitely fight a bloody battle. Satisfying, very satisfying. The demon lord laughed. He also killed the representatives of the top 10 forces one by one. Among them were the true disciples, the saint sons, and even the half-step heaven immortals. Nangong Qianqian couldn't imagine how strong that fellow Lin Fei was. Then now, daughter, your eyes are very good. This fellow Lin Fei has a bright future. He did such an earth-shattering thing in one go. He is really full of demonic nature. The demon lord really admired Lin Fei. Nangong Qianqian let out a long sigh of relief. I knew he was not ordinary. Daughter, dress up well. We're going to the Myth City. The demon lord laughed. Ah, you allowed me to go out? Don't you want to see Lin Fei? Don't you want to go? If you don't want to go, then father will leave. I'll go. Nangong Qianqian didn't have the mood to go into seclusion. Right, father, where are we going? When the demon lord saw his daughter like this, he knew that his daughter had been charmed. We're going to participate in the auction. After this battle, Lin Fei's name will be known by the world. Moreover, there is a demonic immortal beside Lin Fei who suppressed 2 foreign race god kings. Demonic immortal. Lin Fei was suddenly filled with endless mystery. You can rest assured now. Even the top 10 super forces won't dare to act recklessly, the demon lord said. The Myth City has a great array that trapped the foreign race god kings. If it wasn't for the other god king, they might have fallen. The divine sword sect. In the depths of the void, there was a huge palace that was like a pyramid. It seemed to reach the sky. This tower had a name. It was called the Tower of Heaven. It was an immortal artifact. The Saint of Sword maniac is dead? Below the Tower of Heaven, a hand knelt. Lin Fei set up a great array and killed the army. He killed the saint and a half-step heaven immortal. The hand trembled. Go down. The Tower of Heaven fell silent. An elder walked out of the void and appeared on the Tower of Heaven. Divine sword, the grudge between you and Lin Fei ends here. This elder can pretend that I don't know about what happened this time. If there is a next time, you know the consequences. This elder was the supreme elder of the divine sword sect. He was the former punishment elder. As soon as he said this, he was filled with killing intent. Without waiting for the divine sword to react, he turned and left. On the Tower of Heaven, on the huge throne, the divine sword was sitting. His whole body was like a sharp, long sword, killing enemies from thousands of miles away. Humph! What does the supreme elder count for? The divine sword opened his eyes and the void shattered. When I become a heaven immortal, I'll see what you choose. The Tower of Heaven flew up and disappeared into the depths of the void. In the endless sea, on an island, a loud, rumbling sound echoed in the sky. Long Out Yin is dead. A middle-aged man walked out, his eyes cold. This person was Long Tianyi. That good for nothing. I taught him the true dragon transformation, but he still died in his hands. He's simply a piece of trash. He's useless. Long Tianyi's hatred was overflowing. Myth City, Lin Fei. Long Tianyi had given the mission to Long Out Yin, and Long Tianyi had secretly arranged for his trusted subordinates to go. Lin Fei, wait for the Dragon Clan's revenge. In another place, it was also in the endless sea. Father, I didn't expect the Myth City to be so amazing. Also, this Lin Fei is really fierce. We underestimated the Myth City, Sea God Empire's main hall. A handsome young man was saying something. High Air, the Myth City's auction is about to begin. Bring some people there and give them a generous gift. On the throne, a middle-aged man said lightly. This person was the Sea God Empire's Sea God King, who controlled the endless sea. Although the endless sea was in chaos, as long as the Sea God King was there, it was just a small fight and would never become a big deal. This High Air was the Sea God King's third prince, and the eldest prince was Caesar King, titled King Qing. Father, don't worry. High Air's eyes flashed with joy as he said with his head lowered. The Myth City is now an independent force. It's best for you to cooperate with the Myth City. The Sea God King said lightly, "This emperor suspects that there's a huge force behind Lin Fei, and he's just a spokesperson. You must treat him well." On the continent, the Celestial Sect of Wonders. This was one of the top 10 superforces. They suffered heavy losses on this trip. 2 direct disciples were gone, and they even lost a team. At the same time, they helped Lin Fei establish his prestige. Tianxing Tianju is dead. Can't we take revenge? Perfected Hong Tian lost a direct disciple, so he immediately came to the conference hall. The Myth City shocked the world with a single brilliant feat with such combat power and a demonic immortal overseeing it. The Celestial Sect of Wonders did not dare to make a move easily. When a demonic immortal became a celestial immortal, their combat power was already very strong. "Hong Tian, you must endure this for me." An elder said, "But are we just going to let Lin Fei step on our celestial sect's face like this?" Perfected Hong Tian said, "We will naturally have a plan for this matter. You must know that the Myth City is showing off its abilities now, and we must plan for the long term. You only need to know that the disciples of the Celestial Sect of Wonders will not die in vain." The Myth City's outburst caused the Celestial Sect of Wonders to vomit blood as well. To the Celestial Sect of Wonders, face was very important. Right now, everyone was watching and would definitely not make a move. If they made a move, it would instead help others. The rest of the major forces also chose to remain silent. The Myth City's formation and a demonic immortal had temporarily suppressed them. After all, they all suspected that there was a force behind the scenes that was not inferior to their major forces. Lin Fei was the spokesperson that they had arranged. A person who was not a celestial immortal subdued a celestial immortal? They would not take it seriously. It was definitely arranged by the higher-ups. There was also the mysterious formation. It was also from behind the scenes. Lin Fei alone would not be able to set up such a formation. Chapter 635. While everyone was still in shock, Myth City. The Grand Array continued to operate. Myth City, City Lord Mansion. It's been 3 days. Could something have happened? 3 days had passed since the battle. The Grand Array was still operating, and Lin Fei was still sitting cross-legged in the void. First Madam, Sect Master, is refining the power left by the Divine King. He should be done in a few days. Scarlet Refining Heavenly Demon said excitedly. They had all seen the great battle that day. Even though they knew that the Sect Master was going to put on a big show, the result was shocking. This was something that no one had expected, especially the terrifying attack at the end, burning endless lifespan to cast a terrifying fate art, killing a half-step heaven immortal. They were shocked on the spot. When did Sect Master cultivate the fate art? That was the strongest attack under the great fate art. It was a secret technique. When they saw Lin Fei expend his lifespan and injure a god king, causing his hair to turn white, they all became extremely worried. In the next 3 days, Lin Fei's white hair turned black again. His lost lifespan was replenished, which left everyone dumbfounded. Lin Fei once again became extremely mysterious in their eyes. Sect Master is awake. Outside the Grand Array, Lin Fei, who was sitting cross-legged, suddenly opened his eyes. A huge aura burst out from his body, shattering the void and endless astral wind blew. Sect Master has advanced to half-step heaven immortal. What a terrifying aura. Sect Master is the strongest half-step heaven immortal I have ever seen. Sect Master is really a monster. The terrifying aura made all high-level loose immortals feel the dangerous aura. Perhaps one move from Sect Master could kill them. It wasn't that they had never seen the aura of a half-step heavenly immortal before. However, the aura released by the Sect Master was one of a kind. In fact, he was probably the only one in the entire world who could do that. In the sky, Lin Fei retracted his aura. Even so, his gaze was still sharp. With a single glance, he could see through everything. His gaze could truly kill. With my current strength, Half-step heaven immortals are no longer a match for me. I don't fear heaven immortals either. Lin Fei could feel the vast energy in his body, overwhelming and overwhelming. Every part of him felt powerful. If it was now, Lin Fei wouldn't even need to rely on the art of fate to kill a half-step heavenly immortal. The current half-step heavenly immortal posed no threat to him. Congratulations, Master. Your strength has improved greatly. Little Purple flattered. Master, with your current strength, as long as you don't meet a peak early-stage fairy immortal expert, ordinary fairy immortals can't do anything to you. The reason why Lin Fei put on such a show was precisely to raise his own strength. Advancing from the peak of the loose immortal stage to the half-step heavenly immortal stage required a huge amount of accumulation. Even with the huge accumulation in the Tianji secret vault, there was still a gap. If he had not injured God King Giant Eye and God King Heavenly Wings in the end, obtaining a portion of them, Lin Fei's strength would not have improved so much. Return. With that, Lin Fei retrieved the grand formation that he had set up. In fact, this formation was the heaven and earth smelt. After Lin Fei's strength improved, its use increased once again. He took the risk to set up this formation and finally made a name for himself. After retrieving the heaven and earth smelt, the outside returned to normal. The scene left behind after the battle was filled with battle scars everywhere, proving how terrifying the battle was. Go down! Lin Fei waved his hand and the high-grade spirit veins returned to the ground. The ground returned to normal and the grass grew again. In an instant, all the battle scars disappeared and everything returned to normal. The Myth City had once again become a paradise. Everyone was impressed. Congratulations, Sect Master. Your strength has improved greatly. When Lin Fei landed, everyone said in unison. Whether it was Qi Lian Heavenly Demon or the Four Evils, they were all convinced and respected Lin Fei as the Sect Master. You really hit it well. Lin Jiqing looked at Lin Fei. Isn't this a surprise for all of you? Lin Fei chuckled. From today onwards, our Myth City will play a decisive role in the continent. No one will ignore us anymore. You must not take the risk next time. Lin Jiqing was worried. Half-step heaven immortal and 2 alien race, godly kings. Lin Jiqing's heart was in her mouth, fearing that something bad would happen. I won't take the risk next time, Lin Fei said. Without Little Violet and the support of the powerful spirit veins, Lin Fei wouldn't have been able to perform well. If he had to do it again, he might not be so lucky. 2 alien race, godly kings, and a group of half-step heaven immortals. Moreover, they were veterans. Each of them was incomparably powerful. If it wasn't for Lin Fei's fate art, it wouldn't have been so easy to kill them. Each half-step heaven immortal was extremely powerful. Lin Fei didn't dare to take the risk and fight them alone. Fortunately, they were suppressed and his strength increased, which was why he was able to kill them. Let's go down. After the formation was removed, the number of spies outside gradually increased. However, none of them dared to rashly enter the Myth City. As soon as they returned to the city, Lord's mansion, a servant ran in. Lin Fei knew that this was Jin Feng's servant. Master, second madam is about to give birth. What? Lin Fei felt like he was electrocuted. He was going to be a father? Husband, hurry up. Little sister is about to give birth. Lin Fei had never encountered such a thing in his life. He was obviously startled. He hurriedly tore the void and disappeared. I'll have to trouble you with the following matters. Lin Jiqing also wanted to go over quickly. There were some things that needed to be arranged. Don't worry, madam. No one will come to cause trouble now. Lin Fei appeared in Jin Feng's small courtyard. He was about to go inside when he was stopped by a woman. City Lord, you can't go in. The woman was also very nervous. Okay, I won't go in. Lin Fei had never been so nervous. After more than 10 years, he was going to be a father. This kind of feeling was something that outsiders couldn't understand. He was going to leave his bloodline in the Xiantian continent and become a part of it. After a while, Lin Jiqing also came. "Husband, I'll go in and have a look first." Lin Fei really wanted to go in and have a look. After all, she was pregnant for so long. Outside the small courtyard, Lin Fei walked back and forth. He finally understood the anxiety of a father. This was his first child. Please don't let anything happen to him. Lin Fei's mind was in a mess. He thought about many things. He wanted to go in and have a look several times, but in the end he resisted. A clear and melodious cry came from inside the house. She gave birth. She gave birth. Lin Fei suddenly felt that a stone had been dropped. City Lord, second madam, gave birth to a daughter. A woman ran out from inside to report the good news. Lin Fei couldn't wait any longer. He directly ran inside. He didn't look like a city lord now. He was completely an anxious father. Chapter 636. Where's my daughter? Lin Fei wanted to see his daughter as soon as he came in from outside. Look at your anxious look. Do you only have your daughter in your eyes? Lin Jiqing said with jealousy. Lin Fei was sweating profusely and quickly explained, "Of course, little Feng. Thank you for your hard work." Jean Feng, who was lying on the bed, had a pale face and a happy smile on her face. Her body exuded the radiance of motherhood. Lin Fei came to Jean Feng's side, took her hand, and injected a stream of true essence into her. Jean Feng's face was pale, but after a while, her face became ruddy, and the effects of giving birth disappeared. "That's right." Lin Jiqing smiled and carried the girl out. "Baby, look who's here." Lin Fei stood up and saw his daughter, who had been pregnant for more than 3 years. Suddenly, a force of bloodline fell on his body. That was his own flesh and blood. "Let me hug her." Looking at the pink baby, Lin Fei's face showed a smile. Jean Feng saw Lin Fei's appearance and finally felt relieved. In Jean Feng's heart, she actually wanted to give birth to a boy. After all, everyone likes boys. Boys can inherit the family. After knowing that she gave birth to a daughter, Jean Feng was worried for a while. When she saw Lin Fei's action, Jean Feng knew that what Lin Fei said was actually true. Giving birth to a boy and a girl was the same. It was not a lie, but Lin Fei really loved them. It was the first time that Lin Fei held a child. He was afraid that he would use too much strength. "I'm finally a father." Looking at the sleeping child in his arms, Lin Fei could finally say proudly that he was finally a father and had his own flesh and blood in this continent. However, the child in his arms was scared and cried. "Woo, woo, woo." Lin Fei suddenly became flustered. "Look at you, you scared the child." Lin Jiqing rolled her eyes, took the child back and carefully coaxed him. "Husband, give the child a name." Jean Feng said with a smile, "A name? Let me think about it." Lin Fei frowned as he pondered. In the blink of an eye, he had a name. "Let's call our daughter Lin Yu. Her nickname will be Lele." Lin Fei thought of a name. "I hope our daughter will be happy every day in the future." Although the name was simple, it represented Lin Fei's expectations for his daughter. After having a child and becoming a father, Lin Fei had his own responsibilities. In the next few days, Lin Fei accompanied Jean Feng and teased little Lele from time to time. After being pregnant for 3 years, little Lele's physique was very good. Although he was young, he could already see that his future potential was not bad. Lin Fei put down everything and focused on accompanying his daughter. He had never been so happy before, and it was hard to imagine that a city lord would act like a child. Despite the fact that Lin Fei wasn't in charge of the Myth City's matters and everything was progressing in an orderly manner, Lin Fei's heart skipped a beat. The most anticipated event was the auction. Before the auction started, the news that Demon Lord Lin had a daughter spread out. Those factions that wanted to express their goodwill finally found a way. The people of Myth City were all happy that City Lord Lin had a daughter. Since that scene, They treated themselves as members of Myth City. They felt fortunate that they didn't do anything. For example, some factions all benefited from it. 10 days passed just like that. On the eve of the auction, many people appeared. That brat Lin Fei has chosen a good place. In the sky, a bunch of people appeared. All of them were dressed in black, and demonic energy rippled around their bodies. This group of people were from the demon sect, and the demon lord personally led them. There is a high-grade spirit meridian below. The demon lord said, "How generous, how generous." The demon lord didn't care about the sin paradise in the past and the Myth City now. But after this time, Myth City couldn't be ignored anymore. When the demon lord and the others appeared, spies came to report the situation. Since a few days ago, Myth City had recovered and allowed outsiders to enter. Many spies entered, but this time they were much more reserved. It seems like Lin Fei has a double blessing. The demon lord smiled. Nangong Chanchan didn't understand why her father would say that. "Welcome, demon lord." The moment the demon lord appeared, someone came out to welcome him. The red refined sky demon came out to welcome him. Even if he wasn't strong, he was a powerful person in Myth City. "Our city lord has already arranged a place for all of you to stay. Please follow me." The red refined sky demon had heard of the demon lord's fame, and his tone was filled with respect. After all, back then the demon sect was fragmented. Each of the big shots did their own thing. If it wasn't for the demon lord who suppressed the big shots and united them, there wouldn't have been such a powerful demon sect later on. The red refined sky demon brought them to their place. "If you need anything, you can find me. I will arrange it for you." "Where is your city lord?" The red refined sky demon knew from Lin Fei that they had to be polite to the demon lord. Who knew they might be allies in the future? "Demon lord, please wait for a moment. My city lord is busy and will come over." The demon lord didn't say anything else. This guy is really arrogant. After the red refined sky demon left, Nangong Chanchan snorted. The current Lin Fei is the famous demon Lord Lin of the continent. If he came to welcome me, he would lose face. The demon lord laughed. "City lord has arrived." After a while, Lin Fei arrived. "Senior demon lord, long time no see. How have you been?" As soon as he entered, Lin Fei said with a smile, adding the word senior, was a form of respect for the demon lord. Even though Lin Fei was famous in the continent, it didn't mean that he could be lawless. If that was the case, he would be a failure. "Ha!" The demon lord laughed. "City Lord Lin, it's been 3 years, and you've really impressed me. You're now the famous demon Lord Lin." Lin Fei didn't know who gave him this nickname, but it was quite impressive. "Senior demon lord, you're serious." Lin Fei sat down. "I don't like this demon Lord Lin hat. If it gets out, people will really think that I'm a peerless villain." "You are." Nangong Chanchan cursed in her heart. The two of them casually exchanged a few words, and the demon lord had people deliver gifts. Moreover, it was a big gift. If outsiders knew about it, they would probably be envious. Now Lin Fei smiled and accepted these things. This was the demon lord's kindness. "This is the invitation to the auction in 3 days. I hope Senior Demon Lord will come in person." Before leaving, Lin Fei gave the demon lord an invitation. "I've always heard about your auction. Since you've asked, I'll definitely come." The demon lord smiled and accepted it. Then he sent Lin Fei out. Now, the demon lord already regarded Lin Fei as someone on the same level. From the first time he saw him, the demon lord knew that Lin Fei's strength had increased greatly. Those old antiques could forget about suppressing Lin Fei. Instead, they would suffer. "You men are really naggy, always saying things that I don't understand." After waiting for Lin Fei to leave, Nangong Chanchan said with dissatisfaction, "Chanchan, you're such a smart person. But there are also times when you're confused. Just now, Lin Fei represented the Myth City. It wasn't an ordinary visit. The demon lord waved the invitation in his hand. Do you see this? It's of great significance. Nangon Chan was actually angry that Lin Fei hadn't spoken to her just now. However, after listening to her father's words, she knew that Lin Fei had come with a purpose. After the auction, Lin Fei will definitely come to find you. The demon lord was the first to arrive. The second to arrive was the Divine Sword Sect. This time, the leader of the Divine Sword Sect was an old acquaintance of Lin Fei, Perfected Nine Fingers. I didn't expect that in just a few decades, Lin Fei would soar to the sky, and even our Divine Sword Sect would become famous. Perfected Nine Fingers sighed as he looked at the Myth City not far away. In just a few decades, Lin Fei's strength had reached half-step heaven immortal. Throughout the entire Divine Sword Sect, only Perfected Nine Fingers could compare to him. 9 Fingers, you did a good deed for the sect in the past, an elder at the side said. They all knew that it was Perfected Nine Fingers who had brought Lin Fei back in the past. Perfected Nine Fingers' strength in the Divine Sword Sect wasn't considered high, but his relationship with Lin Fei was more useful than anyone else. Therefore, the auction had arranged for Perfected Nine Fingers. If the Myth City hadn't made such a big fuss, people wouldn't have paid much attention to the subsequent auction. Now that Myth City's name had spread throughout the continent and the auction had gone through great publicity, it could be said that everyone knew about it, especially the final treasures, which were all rare treasures in the world. As such, everyone wanted to obtain the qualification to participate in the auction and conveniently establish a relationship with the Myth City. Everyone only knew that from now on, the Myth City would no longer be a place that everyone could look down on. It would play a decisive role. As for Sword God, the Supreme Elder has already warned him. Sword God has gone too far these few years. The Elder from before said, during this period of time, Sword God wouldn't dare to make a move against Lin Fei. This time, you have to persuade Lin Fei to shake hands and make peace with Sword God. Lin Fei's name had spread, and the Supreme Elder of the Divine Sword Sect couldn't sit still anymore. He desperately wanted to resolve the conflict between the two of them. If the two of them were to really make a move, both of them might suffer. I'll try my best. Taoist Nine Fingers smiled bitterly. You also know that Sword God and Lin Fei are 2 tigers, and a mountain can't contain 2 tigers. Moreover, the sword maniac Saint died in Lin Fei's hands. Even though Sword God was in the wrong, Lin Fei isn't someone with a good temper. Back then, he dared to make a move against an itinerant immortal when he was still weak. Now, his strength has improved greatly. Taoist Nine Fingers didn't have much confidence in this matter, but he had to give it a try since it was a mission given to him by his superiors. From the bottom of his heart, he still hoped to shake hands and make peace. This possibility might not be high. When they arrived at the Myth City, Lin Fei personally came out to welcome them. Lin Fei pays his respects to senior brother. The current Lin Fei already had the qualifications to speak. The disciples of the Divine Sword Sect all treated Lin Fei as an object of worship. Taoist Nine Fingers was very satisfied. Lin Fei was still the Lin Fei from back then, and he hadn't changed because of power. Of course, he didn't dare to put on airs. Junior brother is too polite. There's no need to come out personally. Chapter 637. After the Battle of the Myth City, it rose up. Various spies snuck into the Myth City to gather information. When the Demon Sect's demon lord came personally and the Divine Sword Sect paid a visit, the news spread out immediately. The latter was not important and was far less sensational than the former. The Demon Sect's demon lord came personally to the Myth City. This was big news and had great significance. It caused a huge uproar. The Myth City had already won the attention of the Demon Sect. Those who had originally planned to observe didn't dare to do so anymore. They immediately brought generous gifts and headed to the Myth City, afraid that they would fall behind and leave a good impression. However, To some people, the demon sect's demon lord coming personally wasn't a good thing. It was bad news to oppose them. The Myth City rose up after the Battle of the Myth City and had a heaven immortal guarding it. If they formed an alliance with the demon sect, it would undoubtedly have a huge impact on them. It would be strange if those who heard this were in a good mood. The demon sect's demon lord was talented and powerful. Even if they were dissatisfied, they didn't dare to attack the demon lord. Everyone understood that the Myth City would be invulnerable within a short period of time. This news was naturally spread by Lin Fei. Although the demon sect didn't have much of an advantage on the continent, their overall strength was something that no faction dared to look down on. Anyone who did something wrong would be taught a bloody lesson. This brat Lin Fei really knows how to take advantage of others. After hearing the news that spread outside, the demon lord couldn't help but smile. There wasn't a hint of anger on his face. "Lord Sect Leader, isn't Lin Fei too bold?" one of his subordinates asked. The demon lord didn't think so. "It's fine. Lin Fei is extraordinary. It is inevitable that the demon sect and the Myth City will form an alliance. Since he has this intention, we might as well help him." The alliance was inevitable. The demon lord had already treated Lin Fei as someone on the same level. From him, he could see the endless potential and the huge faction behind him. The benefits of forming an alliance were obvious. If a person was arrogant and complacent, the demon lord wouldn't take it seriously. They knew how to make use of each other. Combining force and schemes was the right path. "The Prince of the Sea God Empire is here." Hearing that the Prince of the Sea Cucumber Empire had come, Lin Fei was slightly stunned. He didn't expect that they would also be sent here. "I should meet this person," the Scarlet Refining Heavenly Demon said. "Currently, we have offended almost all of the super first-rate forces on the continent. We need allies. If we can cooperate with the Sea God Empire, it will be very beneficial to the Myth City." "All right, I'll go out myself." Lin Fei did not refuse. Lin Fei was aware of the current situation. The moment they found an opportunity, they would definitely make a move. There would definitely be people who would kick them while they were down. That's why Lin Fei spread the news and let everyone know that I've already worked together with the demon sect. Perhaps we'll form an alliance soon. This is a warning to them. Allies were necessary. The Sea God Empire is currently in internal strife. However, these are all small matters, and they are unable to shake the foundation of the Sea God Empire. That old geezer, the Sea God King, is a heavenly immortal expert. As long as he's in charge, all the small matters are destined to be in vain. When Haier saw Lin Fei coming out to greet him personally, he was also shocked. His expression flickered, and then he smiled. "City Lord Lin, you're really young and promising. I'm Haier from the Sea God Empire. I hope you won't mind my sudden arrival." Haier laughed heartily. "Brother Haier, you've come from afar. Why would I mind? I'm more than happy." Lin Fei laughed. "I've already arranged a place for you." Lin Fei personally came out to greet him, and the person who came was the Prince of the Sea God Empire. This was considered a huge matter. It meant that the Sea God Empire had also set their sights on the Myth City. "This is my next gift. Also, this is for your daughter." When they arrived at their residence, Haier clapped his hands, and someone immediately sent the gift over. "This is just a small gift. Please accept it." The Sea God Empire was really generous. When the gift was sent over, Lin Fei glanced at it. It was priceless, and there was no lack of rare treasures of the sea race. Shortly after, his expression returned to normal. "Then I won't stand on ceremony." The person beside Lin Fei came over and accepted the gift. Haier had been observing just now, but he didn't see any changes in Lin Fei. Such a treasure, no matter who it was, would be extremely tempted. Father is right. Lin Fei has a great power behind him. Otherwise, he wouldn't be so calm. Fortunately, the gift was carefully prepared. Haier thought to himself. Unbeknownst to him, Lin Fei had a system shop. There were countless priceless items in it. Although the gift from Hire was expensive, Lin Fei wasn't shocked. At most, he felt a little emotional. Compared to the system shop, it was obviously a notch lower. There's a banquet tonight. I hope Prince Hire can come. After some small talk, Lin Fei stood up and left. Before he left, he invited Prince Hire. I'll definitely come. Lin Fei took the initiative to express his goodwill. Hire wasn't a fool, so he agreed. He would definitely come at night. It was obviously Lin Fei's good intentions. Lin Fei is indeed extraordinary. Before he met him, Hire thought that Lin Fei was just lucky and had the support of someone behind him. Anyone could achieve such an achievement. After talking with him personally today, even though there wasn't much involved, Hire could see that Lin Fei was a person who knew the big picture. He wasn't arrogant and condescending like the rumors said. On the contrary, Lin Fei was a person who knew when to advance and when to retreat. He was a very amiable person. No wonder they chose Lin Fei. The cooperation that Father mentioned, I can give it a try. The Poseidon Empire dominated the endless sea, but it didn't contribute much to the development of the continent. It lacked certain resources in certain aspects, which was why Prince Hire made this trip. This is an opportunity for me. I still need to continue to probe and understand Lin Fei. One by one, the powers came in person. Lin Fei didn't come out to welcome them. He was already giving them face by not restricting their entry. As for those who came to visit, Lin Fei arranged for others to receive them. A city lord had to act like a city lord. He didn't have to welcome them casually. Sect leader, isn't it too extravagant to use this for a banquet? The pot-bellied true immortal barged in from outside. This guy was holding a piece of dragon meat in his hand. If you want to eat dragon meat, just say it. Why use this excuse? Lin Fei smiled. How could he not understand the pot-bellied true immortal's meaning? Sect leader, don't accuse me wrongly, okay? The pot-bellied true immortal laughed dryly. Show me your skills. Don't worry about not having enough ingredients. Lin Fei said, after this, I'll give you some ingredients to satisfy your appetite. Lin Fei was destined to amaze the world at tonight's banquet. Dragon meat? Extravagant? Taboo topic? Chapter 638. Myth City. In the first few days, the interior was cleaned up and it seemed deserted. No one could be seen on the streets, as everyone was just watching. After City Lord Lin displayed his prowess, the Myth City returned to its previous liveliness. The families that were originally destroyed were swallowed up by other forces, and the benefits were divided. Since the arrival of the Demon Sect's Demon Lord, forces of all sizes came to the Myth City at the same time, trying to obtain the protection of the Myth City. After the Battle of the Myth City, its name spread across the continent. In addition, there was a demon immortal presiding over it, who didn't want to migrate their forces and obtain protection from the foreign races. If the continent hadn't changed, they might not have such a mood. However, with the invasion of the foreign races, the continent had completely fallen. Dynasties and families were destroyed by the foreign races. Those families that didn't have anything to rely on began to panic. Perhaps the inheritance of hundreds or thousands of years would be broken in their generation. Many families began to seek protection. The Myth City's name spread across the continent. Many families' eyes lit up as if they had found an existence to rely on. Other than that, there were those forces that were trying to participate in the auction. The auction will begin in 2 days. I wonder how the quota will be chosen this time. One of them was upstairs. There was a group of people sitting and chatting. Who knows? Anyway, it shouldn't be that easy to obtain the qualification. Did you see that? The people from the Celestial Sect of Righteous Path are here. It seems like they are also here to participate in the auction. The Myth City is now awe-inspiring. The Celestial Sect of Righteous Path is a super sect. I didn't expect them to swallow their anger this time. The people in the restaurant were all well informed. What they cared about was the auction this time, the battle armor that could withstand a half-step heaven immortal. Just this final treasure alone made many people excited, not to mention the other treasures that hadn't been revealed yet. The auction of the Myth City was destined to cause a stir in the continent. Qualification. This undoubtedly became the thing that everyone cared about the most. In an inn, it was booked by someone. This Lin Fei has good methods. He has suddenly formed a relationship with the demon sect and the sea god empire. He is simply despicable. In the inn, a middle-aged man was fuming. I really don't understand. Why must we participate in this auction? Now, everyone outside is saying that our celestial sect is afraid of Myth City. Another middle-aged man said. Only a middle-aged man with a white face and no facial hair stood in the middle with an expressionless face. Hongfei Hongmeng, do you know why the sect asked you to come with me? The two of them shook their heads, indicating that they did not know. Our Xianmen Orthodox sect is a super sect that surpasses first-grade sections. Why would we be afraid of a mere myth city? The middle-aged man said calmly, right now, we're enduring our anger for the sake of putting Myth City to death. As for participating in the auction, since they didn't reject us, why should we give up? His calm words were filled with killing intent. Marshal uncle, we understand. The two nodded. There's no need to rush things. Let Demon Lin be arrogant for a few more days. The final victory will still belong to us. After the middle-aged man finished speaking, he closed his eyes again. Compared to the outside world, the big and small forces had complicated feelings. The interior of the city, Lord's Mansion, was brightly lit. I didn't expect that I would be qualified to attend the city, Lord's banquet today. Wang Jiaxing appeared in the city, Lord's Mansion, with his two subordinates. He felt as if he was in a dream. The current Wang Jiaxing had already become the young clan leader of the family and managed the entire family. All of this came from a decision that he had made in the past. Although Wang Jiaxing thought that the Myth City would be able to obtain victory, it would definitely be a Pyrrhic victory. In the end, the heavens played a huge joke on them. City Lord Lin relied on his own strength to turn the situation around, and his name spread across the continent. Only then did Wang Jiaxing know how correct his choice was. Not only did he become the clan leader, but the power of the family had also expanded. Every time he saw the expressions of the elders, Wang Jiaxing's mood would be very good. Wang clan leader, I didn't expect you to come as well. The Zhang clan leader appeared in high spirits and appeared in the city Lord's Mansion. His eyes narrowed as he looked at the new clan leader. They all knew about what happened to the Wang family. The third son of the Wang family had become the clan leader with the help of the city, Lord's Mansion. Following the great victory of the Myth City, the power of the family had expanded by several times. So it is Zhang clan leader. Wang Jiaxing turned his head and smiled. Facing this old fox, Wang Jiaxing still had to be careful. After all, the Wang family had lost many people. As for the Zhang family, because of Zhang clan leader's words, their strength wasn't affected. Let's go in together? Zhang clan leader invited. Okay. Zhang clan leader regretted it. If he had taken the initiative to surrender, he might not have to fear Wang Jiaxing now. The difference was that one chose to surrender while the other chose not to attack. After that, the benefits would be obvious. For now, Zhang clan leader didn't dare to offend Wang Jiaxing. Wang Jiaxing had the city Lord's Mansion behind him, and he couldn't afford to offend him. City Lord's Mansion Hall. At this moment, many people had arrived. Those who had the qualifications to come were either on the Myth City side or had made a certain amount of contribution in that internal conflict. All of them were extremely excited to be able to attend the banquet. Such an honor wasn't something that everyone had the chance to have. Now that the Myth City was like the sun in the sky, their future would be bright. The demon lord came to the hall and instantly caused a commotion. Usually they could only look up to him. Now that they had personally witnessed it, this was something that they didn't even dare to think about. Of course, They didn't dare to go up and greet him. They were completely unqualified and could only watch from afar. "I am High Air. Greetings, Demon Lord." Prince High Air smiled and walked up. In the Sea God Empire, he was a prince and had the qualifications to know the Demon Lord. There were only benefits and no disadvantages. The Demon Lord smiled and said, "How is the old Sea God doing?" "Father is doing very well. Thank you for your concern, Demon Lord." Prince High Air sweated in his heart. Only the Demon Lord would dare to say such words. "If you are free, you can visit the Demon Gate," the Demon Lord said in a friendly manner. Prince High Air was overjoyed. This time he had gained a lot. After all, he was a prince, and it was rare for the Demon Lord to take the initiative to invite him. The surrounding people were extremely envious and wished that they could be in his position. It was an invitation from the Demon Lord. When Lin Fei came out, those people came up to congratulate him. After all, they all knew that the city lord had a daughter. It was double happiness. "What are you guys talking about? You seem to be chatting happily." Lin Fei walked over. "They are talking about your auction. It attracted everyone. I'm curious about how they will select the qualified candidates." Nangong Chanchan also dressed up for the night. Lin Fei smiled and said, "It's a secret for now, but you will know tomorrow." "Boring, Senior Demon Lord. Prince High Air, you may take your seats. Tonight, you will have an unforgettable memory. Is there something different about this banquet?" Prince High Air was quite curious. "It's a secret." Lin Fei smiled. As a result, everyone was curious about what this banquet would be like. For the city lord to say something like this, it should be extraordinary in theory. Everyone quickly took their seats. There were 3 seats at the head of the table. They were the Demon Lord, Lin Fei, and Prince High Air. They were all qualified. For this kind of banquet, everyone cared about communication. They did not care too much about eating and drinking. At their position, eating and drinking were not essential. It was nothing more than socializing. One by one, beautiful maids came up with plates and placed them in front of everyone. This surprised everyone. This banquet was a little strange. Everyone try it. After opening the lid, they found that there was a piece of roasted meat on the plate. It looked and smelled good, but they could not tell what kind of meat it was. When a certain someone swallowed a mouthful of meat, he was in a daze. "This is dragon meat?" A certain someone's words had frightened everyone. Dragon meat? What could be called dragon meat was not those pseudo-dragons, but real dragons. Each of them was very powerful. Now there was dragon meat on the plate. This was a bit too heaven-defying. Only the Demon Lord, High Air, and the others ate slowly. A strange look flashed in their eyes. "City Lord Lin, you are really amazing. You can even get your hands on such pure dragon meat. I wonder which elder of the dragon race you killed?" The Demon Lord ate the dragon meat and was also shocked. The Demon Lord was not afraid of the dragon race. It was not that he had never eaten dragon meat before. However, such a pure dragon meat must have been a noble dragon. Now it had become food in his mouth. This was something that the Demon Lord could not do. Not to mention Prince High Air. This was the first time he ate dragon meat. Pure dragon meat represented a noble bloodline. He finally understood how terrifying the force behind Lin Fei was. This kind of pure dragon meat must have been an elder. The weakest of them was a half-step heaven immortal, and their combat power was comparable to a heaven immortal. Lin Fei laughed and said, "Dragon meat is disgusting. As long as it tastes good. Everyone don't stand on ceremony." Everyone was overwhelmed by the favor. The flesh of a pure-blooded dragon was an unreachable existence to them. Now it had become food on their plates. They worshipped Lin Fei even more, and were even more determined to follow Lin Fei's footsteps. After a while, another bowl of soup was served. If I am not wrong, this is a soup made with a phoenix as the ingredient? The Demon Lord said casually, but he was shocked in his heart. Could it be that the force behind Lin Fei had gone to kill the members of the Phoenix clan? This was too terrifying. Good eyesight, Lin Fei said. Try it and see how it tastes. Everyone was stunned once again. It was fine that the powerful dragon race became food, but now there was a phoenix soup? They almost could not accept it. Extravagant, too extravagant. The powerful race had now become food. Prince High Air was even more moved. This was just the beginning. Some of the ingredients later on were things that the demon lord had never tasted before. They contained magical effects that he had never seen before. Even with his knowledge, he could not distinguish them. Chapter 639. The banquet had indeed left an indelible memory in everyone's mind, whether it was dragon meat or something else. Everyone had at most heard of it, but they had never eaten it. City, Lord Lin treated them with this, which made them even more certain of their choices. Father, Lin Fei is worthy of our cooperation. After the banquet, Prince High Air returned to his residence and set up a formation. He contacted his father and told him what he had seen that night. He believed that his father would also be shocked. Pure dragon meat. The Sea God King was indeed shocked after hearing it. It seems that the forces behind Lin Fei have extended their reach to other worlds. On Dragon Island, there have been no deaths of elders for the time being. Prince High Air did not speak. His father had to decide how to deal with this matter. Subconsciously, Prince High Air hoped to cooperate with the Myth City. It was not a banquet that changed Prince High Air's opinion, but from Lin Fei's actions and some information that he understood. Cooperation at this time was undoubtedly a timely help. Cooperation after that would be icing on the cake. In fact, it would not be of much use. This was the best opportunity. There was no one else. Once the forces behind Lin Fei sent powerhouses, their only advantage would be completely lost. For some reason, the forces behind Lin Fei did not send powerhouses. There might be many conclusions that they could not guess. I will leave the cooperation to you. After a moment of silence, the Sea God King spoke. Father, rest assured. Prince High Air heaved a sigh of relief. You can invite Lin Fei to the Sea God Empire as a guest, the Sea God King said. Prince High Air did not expect that his father would also attach importance to Lin Fei and even invite him to the Sea God Empire as a guest. After cutting off the connection, Your Highness, this is the invitation letter sent by City Lord Lin. One of his subordinates walked in and handed him an invitation. Auction. Prince High Air's eyes lit up. On this trip, Prince High Air came to the Myth City to get in touch with Lin Fei. On the other hand, he wanted to participate in the auction. He was about to speak, but he did not expect that Lin Fei would take the initiative to send the invitation. Father's decision is correct. Prince High Air did not know how many qualifications Lin Fei had given away, but it was definitely not a lot. The demon sect would definitely have one, but as for the others, there were probably not many. The auction was less than a day away. Many scouts had gathered in front of the mythology pavilion. They were all trying to gather information regarding the auction. Over the past 3 years, the Myth Tower's reputation had grown by quite a bit. In addition to the great actions they had taken, no one dared to underestimate the Myth City, and no one dared to underestimate this auction. This morning, a notice was pasted in front of the mythological tower, and it instantly caused a commotion. Nothing else regarding the auction qualification. In this auction, there would be 15 qualifications. The average person could still accept 15 qualifications. That was not the point. The 15 qualifications were not distributed according to the strength of the sect, but through bidding, continuing the previous method. This demon Lin is really despicable. In an inn, someone started cursing. They were from Blood Alliance. Demon Lin is looking down on us. It's fine that he didn't give us the auction qualification, but he also didn't invite us to the banquet. He is really lawless. Blood Alliance was a superpower. Everywhere they went, Everyone would be respectful. Now, in order to participate in an auction, they had to fight for the qualification with others. Ridiculous, too ridiculous. They didn't treat it as anything. Anger was anger. To participate or not to participate was a complicated problem. Since we are here, we must participate in the auction. A red-robed, half-step heaven immortal in the middle said, "Our blood alliance can't fall behind others." Everyone knew that this was a way for Myth City to annoy them. For the past 3 years, their faction had always arranged for people to participate in the auction to obtain treasures. This auction was obviously different from the previous one. If they missed this opportunity, it would be a huge loss. They could temporarily put aside the death of a saint. There would be plenty of opportunities for revenge, but there was a limit to the number of treasures. If it was extremely precious and landed in the hands of others, that would be the worst thing. They had to participate in the auction. If even the superpowers couldn't participate in the auction, the entire continent would laugh at them. Immediately arrange for people to bid for it, no matter how much money we have to spend. The other factions, especially the superpowers, were cursing at the start. They wanted to give up the chance to bid for it, but when they thought of this auction, they hesitated. The moment the superpowers made their move, the price of the auction shot up. Everyone was speechless. The superpowers are indeed rich. Lin Fei couldn't help but smile when he heard his subordinates report. They are rich, but you are even blacker than them. How do you know that they will definitely take action? Nangong Qianqian rolled her eyes. She thought that the demon sect was black-hearted, but compared to Lin Fei, they were much kinder. Someone, put this notice out and let everyone be excited. Nangong Qianqian took it and glanced at the information on it. Shock flashed in her beautiful eyes. This is your final treasure. Is there a problem? Nangong Qianqian really wanted to slap this guy to death. Don't you know how important the item you are auctioning is to them? No? So what? Lin Fei had a cunning smile. I want to make the Myth City a unique place. All the good things in the world. Other than my place. There is no other place that can have them. This was the reason. You should go back and tell Senior Demon Lord that this auction will be extremely intense. If you are not prepared, perhaps. Lin Fei kindly reminded. Nangong Qianqian stood up. I will take this away. Nangong Qianqian might not be anxious when she didn't know the final treasure, but after seeing it, she immediately knew that this auction would be crazy. Sect Master, this is a good idea. The scarlet refining heavenly demon appeared after Nangong Qianqian left. All of them are superpowers and all of them are rich. I want them to take the initiative to increase the price. When the final treasure is out, they will have to increase it even if they don't want to. When the scarlet refining heavenly demon knew that the final treasure was going to be auctioned, he was also shocked. Won't this attract the attention of those old powers? The scarlet refining heavenly demon was really worried about this. We want to establish a unique existence. Lin Fei was full of heroism. If they make a move, I don't mind letting them taste a painful lesson. Chapter 640. Nangong Qianqian went to see her father with the notice. Father, Lin Fei is really going all out this time, Yi Zichen said with a smile. She thought that there would be a limit to the number of treasures in the auction, but she didn't expect there to be so many. Each one of them was shockingly valuable. The demon lord didn't know what was going on at first, but when he saw the information, a weird look flashed in his eyes. It seems like Lin Fei plundered many treasures in the Tianji secret treasury. The only thing he didn't understand was why Lin Fei was willing to take them out to auction. If it was the demon lord, he definitely wouldn't take them out to auction. The reason was simple, he couldn't bear to. 3 words were enough. Lin Fei took out a few of them. This wasn't a question of whether he was willing to or not. He didn't care about it at all. No matter how smart the demon lord was, he would never have thought that Lin Fei had a system shop. As long as he had points, he wouldn't have to worry about not being able to buy treasures. This celestial armor suits you very well. The demon lord's gaze landed on it. The continent war has been going on for 3 years. Sooner or later, there will be a war. I will help you get this celestial armor in this auction. There weren't many of such armors in the demon sect. The demon lord realized its importance. Nangong Chanchan, on the other hand, thought to herself, where were you teleported to? Outside the mythological tower. Everyone was still fighting for the spots. The price was terrifyingly high. One look and one would be terrified. Such a terrifying number was enough to support many forces. Another notice. The guard of the mythological tower came out with a notice, causing quite a commotion. No one knew what was written on the notice. Once the notice was posted, it caused an uproar. This is the list of the treasures. Look at this celestial armor. There are a total of 3. They can block the attack of a half-step heaven celestial. And this heaven celestial bone spike, it contains the might of a heaven celestial, no weaker than a heaven celestial grade celestial artifact. One treasure after another caused everyone's eyes to turn red. This time they had come to the right place. Those top forces who were prepared to give up gritted their teeth and were prepared to go all out. They had to get a spot. The number of 15 places to be auctioned rose once again. This news shocked all the big and small factions. They cursed at Lin Fan's shameless actions. Wasn't he telling everyone to hurry up and participate in the auction? Just as they feared, once the news spread, some of the old fogies became restless. They had been cultivating wholeheartedly, ignoring the affairs of the world. When a high-grade spirit vein appeared, they were indifferent, and as a result, they avoided a disaster. After the news of the final treasures of the mythology city was spread out, they would undoubtedly have their eyes on some of the items. For example, immortal armors, arrays, etc. The auction this time surpassed the previous one. Old Antique stepped forward. All of them were old fogies, and none of them weren't filthy rich. They weren't the slightest bit inferior to them, and as soon as they made a move, the price shot up. The major powers that were originally within the 15th place were all cursing and swearing. In order to not give up, they had no choice but to continue raising the price. Lin Fei's move had tricked them miserably. More importantly, this was an open and above-board trap for them. They had no ability to resist and had to continue. Of course, they could give up the opportunity to compete, but once they gave up, the powers behind them would immediately push them down. Lin Fei was cursed by countless people. He gritted his teeth and wanted nothing more than to eat him alive. Mythology City now had a formation and also a monster celestial. It was extremely terrifying and was suppressing the 2 alien race god kings. They didn't dare to attack. Maybe the moment they did, the monster celestial would kill them, and they wouldn't even have a place to seek justice. While they cursed Lin Fan, they had to contact their sects and continue to increase their wealth to fight for this chance. The 15 spots turned into fat meat, and no one was willing to give it up. During this period, the happiest person was none other than Lin Fei. Before the auction even started, they had earned a sum of money. Moreover, they were willing to do so. Until the moment before the auction started, the 15 spots were finally confirmed. The competition this time was really intense. Lin Fei had advertised the final treasure, which attracted some old antiques. Their wealth wasn't any weaker than others. Out of the 15 spots, they took 2 to 3. As for the others, they were taken by the top 10 powers. Only then did the auction come to an end. Unknowingly, Lin Fan attracted a lot of hatred. Along with the start of the auction, everyone's hatred shifted to the final treasure. The next morning, at the entrance of the Myth Tower, the powers that one usually couldn't see appeared one by one. They stood there and exchanged greetings. A few of them cursed Lin Fan, while the rest were focused on the final treasure. The formation has appeared. Along with a streak of light appearing in the sky above Mythology City, a formation appeared. They had heard of how strong the formation was. When they looked at the structure of the formation, their divine senses were instantly blocked. Everyone was shocked. Mythology City was already terrifying enough to have a formation. Now there was another strong one. It looked like it was at least a grade 7 and above formation. All of a sudden, Mythology City was covered in a layer of mystery. Those who had obtained the qualifications to enter the mythological tower paid the auction fee and obtained a private room number. Lin Fan is really evil. Looking at the huge sum of money they paid, they couldn't help but curse. Hayes, who asked these final treasures to be so expensive? It's so tempting. They all found a reason for themselves. This reason was simple, which was to buy the final treasure. The 20 private rooms formed a circle, surrounding the auction stage in the center. For this auction, the superpowers brought resources back, afraid that they would fall behind others. The powers that didn't pay much attention to them all sent people with status to fight for the treasures. The auctioneer wasn't the one who opened the auction. Instead, it was Lin Fei himself who went up. Is he the demon Lin who killed our Life League? In one of the rooms, the people from the Life Alliance looked at the young man who was like their own son and sighed. Perfected Luo Yun died in the hands of Lin Fan. As expected, he is a ruthless person. The leader scoffed coldly. How is the investigation of the final treasure going? We sent people to investigate. Lin Fan's treasure has a mysterious origin. It seems to be from the Tianji secret treasury. Good for nothing. Continue investigating, the leader said angrily. The Tianji Arcanum is filled with danger. How could he have collected so many treasures? There must be a source for his treasures. I understand. I'll send people to continue investigating. In the other rooms, everyone had the same expression towards Lin Fan. They had suffered a small loss in the hands of such a young man. Such a young man had established an immortal legendary city at such a young age. They suddenly had a feeling of old age. I'm Lin Fei, the city lord of Myth City. Everyone should be familiar with me. Lin Fei introduced himself. I'm very grateful to all of you for coming to the auction today. You will know how correct your choice today was. Nonsense. Who didn't know Lin Fan? The people in the rooms all cursed silently. Perhaps many people wouldn't recognize Lin Fei's name. However, if one were to mention Demon Lin's name, everyone on the continent would know about him. His evil name had spread far and wide. They chose to ignore Lin Fei's words. Of course, Lin Fei wouldn't care about what they thought. The auction will begin next. I hope that today will be an unforgettable day for all of you. A middle-aged auctioneer walked up. He was an old auctioneer from the Myth Tower. He was quite famous and good at controlling the tempo. The auction will begin now. With auctioneer Zhou's words, tonight's auction began. Today's first auction item is a special pill called the Beauty Pill. No matter who it is, after eating it, their appearance will be fixed to their current appearance. The starting price is 1 million true essence crystals. The first auction item immediately caused quite a commotion. To be able to maintain one's appearance. Where did Demon Lin get such a pill from? Even cultivators' appearances would change. Men might not care, but women would. Unless their cultivation realm reached a certain level, they would age. Once the beauty-fixing pill appeared, everyone knew that it was a good item. Their eyes lit up involuntarily. That brat Lin Fei is really not simple. His first auction item is already a special pill. The demon lord couldn't help but laugh. He knew the benefits of the beauty pill, and it would cause quite a commotion. It was definitely a pill that no woman could reject. Lin Fei loves to hide things. As a woman, Nangong Qianshan was naturally moved. Who didn't want to keep their appearance unchanged? The beauty pill is not bad. After today's auction, the Myth City will become very popular. No one can stop it. Once the beauty pill appears, it will definitely sweep the entire continent. The first bottle of beauty pill was quickly bought by someone for 20 million true essence crystals. The price wasn't very high, but 20 million true essence crystals was just the starting price. As the effects appeared, the price would soar. Sect leader, this move of yours is amazing. Venerable Reincarnation stood behind Lin Fei in admiration. Lin Fan had used such a method to make people's eyes light up. I said that to make the Myth City a unique existence, there must be something attractive. Lin Fei smiled. What kind of money is the easiest to earn? Do you know? The burly man shook his head. Women's money is the easiest to earn. Lin Fei said. What do women care? What they care about is their appearance. Which expert doesn't have many wives? After all, they will grow old, and their appearance will wither like blood. With the beauty pill, they will have the capital to compete. When they heard this, they had to say that sect leaders' words made sense. Women's money was indeed the easiest to earn. Experts wouldn't reject anything a woman asked for. A mere tens of millions of true essence crystals was really nothing. They had lived for so long, and this was the first time they understood this logic. Chapter 641. It was just as he had said. The moment the auction started, everyone subconsciously realized something. Perhaps the mythological city would become an indispensable part of the future. After the opening speech of the beauty pill, the following items would occasionally cause people's eyes to light up. Those who originally didn't want to make a move couldn't help but fight to make a move. Divinity Breakthrough Pill and Potential Pill were originally the finale treasures, but now they had become ordinary pills. The mythological tower is too mysterious. It was impossible not to be shocked when the quality of the finale treasures was suddenly kicked out. Divinity Breakthrough Pill. After another new pill was introduced, everyone's eyes lit up again. It could directly attain an itinerant immortal body without undergoing tribulation and transforming it. Such a pill would undoubtedly cause a huge commotion. They knew that the mythological tower was extremely mysterious. How could they not be shocked when they took out such a pill to auction? All along, itinerant immortals had to undergo tribulation and be reconstructed. No one had ever tried to rely on pills to change their physique. Are we behind the times? In the private rooms, many alchemy grandmasters from various factions could only stare at the endless number of pills. Alchemy grandmasters were proud of refining pills. Unfortunately, when faced with the pills from the mythological tower, they felt that their achievements were nothing compared to the mythological tower. Divinity Breakthrough Pill, Potential Pill, and Blood Replenishing Pill were all famous in the continent. They were still in the midst of researching them, but now the mythological tower no longer cared. From the finale treasures to the ordinary items, the faces of the alchemy grandmasters turned red. The mythological tower was already disdainful of using them as the finale treasures, yet they were still painstakingly researching the pill-breaking method. It was truly a tragedy. Comparing oneself to others was truly infuriating. After the ups and downs of the auction, it was finally time for the finale treasures. Now, we will begin the auction of tonight's finale treasures. The auctioneer's voice was excited. Please present the first finale treasure, Celestial Immortal Battle Armor. All the private rooms were excited. 3 identical battle armors appeared on the auction stage. It's the leather armor of a celestial immortal demonic beast. I can sense the aura of a celestial immortal. Where did the mythological tower kill the celestial immortal? The 3 battle armors radiated the might of a celestial immortal. Even though they were immortal armors, the might of a celestial immortal didn't diminish. Once again, the myth tower was shrouded in a layer of mystery. The materials for the celestial immortal battle armor are determined by the demon immortal. As everyone knows, the demon immortal has always been known for their defense. After meticulously refining them by our mythological tower, we were able to produce 3 sets of celestial immortal battle armor. Each of them can block an attack from a half-step celestial immortal. Even the top auctions in the continent rarely took out treasures of this level. The Mythical Pavilions auction had reached the pinnacle in an instant. Celestial Immortal Battle Armor. The starting price will be 1 billion Zhan Yuan crystals. With the Celestial Immortal Battle Armor, you will have a new life. This is a great opportunity that everyone should not miss. Let the auction begin. 10 billion Zhan Yuan crystals. As soon as he finished speaking, someone immediately spoke up. They were tempted by the immortal battle armor. The first treasure of the finale made them extremely excited. At this moment, they seemed to have forgotten that they were just cursing Lin Fan for being vicious and killing their disciples. After a while, the price soared to 300 billion true origin crystals. This price was just the starting price. It could block an attack from a half-step heavenly immortal. At a critical moment, it could even block an attack from a heavenly immortal. It was more than enough for them to fight for it. If it wasn't for the demonic immortal, everyone present would have come out to fight for it. Master, you humans are so stupid. They would treat a piece of leather armor as a treasure. Little Violet played with the dagger in her hand and couldn't help but laugh. Little Violet, you don't know this. There are limited demonic immortals on the continent. How could there be a demonic immortal leather armor? 3 celestial immortal battle armors are like sharks smelling blood. Do you understand? This was the result that Lin Fei wanted. The demonic immortal battle armor that Little Violet killed back then already had the aura of a demonic immortal even though it hadn't transformed yet. Lin Fei brought it all back and made it into the celestial immortal battle armor. The only difference was that the materials used for the 3 celestial immortal battle armors weren't the best. They were scraps. A rank 5 spirit vein going once. A rank 5 spirit vein going twice. A rank 5 spirit vein going thrice. Congratulations to Room 10 for winning the Celestial Immortal Battle Armor. As the auctioneer's voice fell, the first battle armor was bought. The demon sect is really rich. The first item is a middle-rank spiritual vein. We were caught off guard. The second Celestial Immortal Battle Armor, we can't miss it. Private Room number 10 belonged to the demon sect's demon lord. The moment he made his move, he jumped from Zhan Yuan crystals to middle-grade spirit veins. It was too ruthless. Everyone was obviously stunned, and it was precisely because of this that they missed the opportunity to obtain the first Celestial Immortal Battle Armor. A bunch of old things. Now you are all dumbfounded. In Room 10, the Demon Lord was in a good mood. Very quickly, the door outside rang. The staff brought the Celestial Immortal Battle Armor over. At close range, the demonic immortal's power radiated. It was a genuine demonic immortal leather armor. After the Demon Lord paid a middle-rank spiritual vein, the Celestial Immortal Battle Armor landed on his hand. You can refine this battle armor. From now on, you can protect yourself anytime and anywhere. Senior Demon Lord, your move just now caught them off guard. Amazing. At this time, Lin Fei appeared. I thought you wouldn't come. Lin Fei chuckled. How could that be? Miss Nangong, this battle armor doesn't suit you. I have a red battle armor here that suits you very well. Lin Fei took out another battle armor. The Demon Lord glanced at Lin Fei. Daughter, since City Lord Lin is so polite, you can change to another one. I also feel that the red one suits you. Nangong Qianchan's brain turned and understood what was going on. When she handed the battle armor to Lin Fei, she rolled her eyes at Lin Fei. Then I won't bother you guys anymore. After changing into a new set of battle armor, Lin Fei left. This Lin Fei really knows how to put in a lot of effort. The Demon Lord smiled. If I didn't guess wrong, the battle armor in your hand is the real Celestial Immortal Battle Armor. Those auctioned outside are nothing more than scams. He even dares to do this. Nangong Qianchan was shocked. Don't forget what everyone calls him. P.S. King of the Heavens description. Vast galaxy, boundless universe. Countless planes, experts as numerous as the clouds. There are 33 heavens, each layer is a world. A young man obtained a book that recorded the strongest cultivation technique, the best medicine concoction technique, and the most miraculous weapon forging technique. With this book, the young man embarked on a journey to the myriad worlds. Chapter 642. Nangong Qianqian fell into deep thought. The name demon Lin did not come from nowhere. Father's eyes are as sharp as a torch. I'm afraid those people outside are treating it like a treasure. I wonder what kind of expression they'll have when they see the results. The demon lord's eyes fell on the armor. This is the real celestial armor. With this armor, you will have to go into seclusion to break through after we return. With this armor, even if a celestial immortal attacks, I will still have time to save you. Rank 5 Spirit Vein. Middle Spirit Vein. Demon Lord did not come out of nowhere. This was tantamount to acting as a scapegoat. The only thing he didn't expect was that Lin Fei would do him a favor and replace his previous immortal battle armor. This is a huge favor. Demon Lord knew that Demon Lin wouldn't be so kind. Unknowingly, he owed him a favor. A true heaven immortal battle armor had endless uses. Such a heaven immortal battle armor was equivalent to 10 heaven immortal battle armors. The Demon Lord couldn't refuse the other party's kindness. A favor, since the Demon Lord had helped him out for a while. Lin Fei naturally had to do him a favor. The alliance between Myth City and the demon sect was inevitable. Lin Fei had this thought. Since it was like this, why not do the other party a favor? The celestial immortal battle armor that he gave out was the real battle armor, not the inferior goods that were auctioned off. On the auction stage, after the first celestial immortal battle armor was auctioned, everyone cursed at the Demon Lord. He had come up with such a price. He was deliberately trying to scam them. They did not care about veritable essence crystals, which superpower did not have a massive accumulation. Even if they spent a lot of veritable essence crystals, they would not suffer any losses. You, a demon master, actually used a spirit vein. Moreover, it was a middle-rank spirit vein. This made them unhappy. They couldn't stop others from auctioning with spirit veins unless they didn't want to obtain the immortal battle armor. Once they had that thought, they had to use spirit veins. The demon master was really a scammer. Everyone could only curse and accept reality. As expected, as soon as the second celestial battle armor was auctioned, the spirit vein immediately appeared. It seemed that the demon master had taken the celestial battle armor by surprise, and the others were afraid that the same thing would happen again. At first, it was a rank 3 spirit vein, but it quickly rose to a rank 5 spirit vein. Rank 5 spirit vein seemed to be the limit. In the end, the second immortal battle armor was bought by the Xianmen Righteous Path at the price of 15. It could be said that their hearts were bleeding. A celestial immortal battle armor and 15 rank 5 spirit veins. It was a huge price. Even though it hurt his heart, a celestial immortal battle armor was still very useful. It really is the leather armor of a demonic immortal. After painfully paying 15 rank 5 spirit veins, they got the immortal battle armor as they wished. After the seal was undone, it revealed the aura of a demon immortal. An image of a demon immortal appeared on the surface of the armor, which was the remnant will of a demon immortal. Demon Lin, how many more secrets do you have? After the second heavenly immortal battle armor was bought, the third heavenly immortal battle armor undoubtedly started a bidding war. The price doubled, and 40 rank 5 spirit veins were finally bought. Of course, some people would ask, was it worth it for a heavenly immortal armor? To them, it was worth it. Totally worth it. On the Xiantian continent, including in this world, there was a limited number of demonic immortals. Their leather armors contained supreme immortal might. After wearing the armor, it was equivalent to cultivating an invincible half-step heavenly immortal. Which sect wouldn't be tempted by an invincible half-step heavenly immortal? They felt that it was totally worth it to buy the heavenly immortal battle armor with a few dozen spirit veins. If they missed this opportunity, they didn't know when they would see it again. Especially if the heavenly immortal battle armor fell into the hands of an enemy, it would be a nightmare. Even if they didn't fight for it, others would. Next, let's start the auction for the second item of tonight's finale, the heavenly ancient serpent spear. A huge, white-boned spear was brought up. The terrifying demonic immortal chi was even stronger than the previous heavenly immortal battle armor. Above the white-boned spear, a huge ancient serpent was circling with cold eyes. Good stuff! This is an immortal artifact equivalent to a heaven immortal mid-grade. A real immortal artifact. The immortal artifacts that were circulated on the continent were nothing more than pseudo-immortal artifacts. They were nothing compared to real immortal artifacts. This immortal artifact was made from the bone spear of a demonic immortal, which made it even more powerful. It contained the will of a demonic immortal. When it was used, its power was no weaker than a heaven immortal mid-grade immortal artifact. They suspected that the mythological tower didn't know the importance of such a heaven immortal mid-grade immortal artifact. 3 heavenly immortal battle armors were precious enough. The heavenly ancient serpent spear was also a precious treasure. The heavenly ancient serpent spear is made from the essence of an ancient serpent. With it, one can summon an ancient serpent and fight alongside it. Whoever buys it will own a powerful immortal artifact. The starting price is 55th grade spirit veins. The price was not a problem for them. An immortal artifact made from the body of a demonic immortal was more powerful than any other immortal artifact. Moreover, the ancient serpent was a type of venomous snake. Although the heavenly ancient serpent spear was white and flawless, it was actually more terrifying than one could imagine. The heavenly ancient serpent spear was killed by Little Violet in a swamp. It took her an entire day to kill the ancient serpent and obtain the bone spear. 60. The Life Alliance was the first to speak. The Life Alliance was determined to get this heaven immortal artifact. 70, 80, 90. In the blink of an eye, the price of the heavenly ancient serpent spear had risen to 200 5th grade spirit veins. The Life Alliance bids 220 spirit veins. We want this immortal artifact. The Life Alliance's voice came from the private room. Adding 20 spirit veins in one go put a lot of pressure on the others. For the various superpowers, obtaining low-grade and mid-grade spirit veins was relatively easy. However, if they obtained high-grade spirit veins, they'd feel an immense heartache. After all, they'd have one less spirit vein to use. The Blood Alliance bids 230. Someone from the Blood Alliance shouted. The others gave up. The Blood Alliance and the Life Alliance were born enemies, so the competition was between the two of them. After all, if the Blood Alliance could get the Heaven Immortal battle armor, it would mean that they had an invincible half-step Heaven Immortal. If they could get the Heavenly Ancient Serpent Spear, it would mean that they had gained an extremely powerful expert. The competition was bound to be intense. Just as expected, after the others gave up, the two of them began to compete again. The price kept rising. Haha, the Blood Alliance should admit defeat. The Life Alliance bids 300 spirit veins. As the Life Moon Alliance decided the outcome with just one sentence and placed a price, the Blood Alliance fell completely silent. This price was something they could not bear. The auctioneer on the stage was happier than anyone else. The price of a few hundred spirit veins had made him a top auctioneer. Is there anyone else who wants to bid? After the auctioneer asked 3 times, the Heavenly Ancient Serpent Spear was finally bought by the Life Alliance at a high price of 300 spirit veins. Sure enough, the super forces are all very wealthy. In another private room, Lin Fei couldn't stop smiling. That was a spirit vein. Even though it was only at the 5th rank, it was still a spirit vein. Damn it! Luckily I picked it up, or I would have lost a few hundred spirit veins. Lin Fei felt lucky. He looked at the skeleton in the divine fire space and squinted his eyes. Little Purple laughed in his mind. You humans are all idiots. Master might not have much, but he has a lot of demon immortal bones. You guys are destined to be cheated. Little Lilac still remembered that its master had said that bones were also money. Even if it couldn't be sold for money, it could still be ground into bone powder. At that time, it had thought that its master had gone crazy from wanting to get rich. Only now did it realize that it had fallen behind. If the immortal battle armor was the warm-up and the heavenly ancient serpent spear was the excitement, then the last treasure was undoubtedly the focus of the auction. I wonder what the last treasure will be. The crowd couldn't help but look forward to it. It couldn't be worse than the previous 2 treasures. At this moment, they were focused on the last treasure. Those who hadn't bid yet were undoubtedly eyeing the last treasure. Now, let's auction the last treasure of the night. The auctioneer was excited. This is the last treasure that you guys can't even imagine. It's the only one on the continent. Some people expressed their disdain. The only one on the continent, even though the immortal battle armor and the heavenly ancient serpent spear were both excellent treasures, and there were still people who would auction them. Roar! A deafening sound suddenly reverberated. The sound of a beast. The crowd couldn't help but frown. What was going on? Could it be that the last auction item was a demonic beast? The only thing that wasn't written in the notice was the final treasure, so no one knew about it. A few guards carried a huge iron cage into the hall. A ferocious and violent aura rushed in from outside. A beast! It's really a beast. The crowd saw a beast imprisoned in the black iron cage. It had a powerful aura and it looked like a sun. This is a 9 tribulation bodiless immortal beast. As soon as those words came out, many divine senses fell on the beast, and their expressions changed dramatically. No matter what, they didn't expect that the mythological tower would auction a beast with the combat strength of a 9 tribulation bodiless immortal. It was only 1 step away from becoming a heaven immortal, and its combat strength was comparable to a half-step heaven immortal. The crowd was shocked. Is Lin Fei crazy? The Demon King couldn't help but frown when he saw this. He couldn't imagine why Lin Fei would auction a beast. A beast with the combat strength of a half-step heaven immortal was definitely a terrifying existence. It could instantly give a sect a powerful helper, and its strength would improve tremendously. Father, is there something wrong with this beast? Is it hard to tame it? Nangong Qianchan thought of something else. The Demon King shook his head. That's impossible. The auctioneer heard it just now, so this beast must be controllable. Nangong Qianchan was also confused. They weren't the only ones who were confused. The other people were also confused. Chapter 643. In every private room, the elders stood up excitedly. Their faces were filled with a rare excitement. A half-step heaven immortal demon beast. No one had expected that Demon Lin would auction off a demon beast. Moreover, it was a 9th tribulation scattered immortal demon beast. Its combat power was comparable to a half-step heaven immortal. In the beginning, everyone suspected that Demon Lin had done something to trick them. It was too unusual for an auction to be auctioned off. They immediately suspected that there was a trap. Everyone present was very powerful and knowledgeable. How could the superpowers be bad? If they had bad eyesight, they wouldn't be allowed to come out. After some observation, they checked the demon beast from top to bottom. They couldn't find any traces of tampering. If Demon Lin could hide it from them, the superpowers behind them all had heaven immortal patriarchs. There was no need to worry about not being able to find out. If the demon beast fell into their hands, it would be like a sheep in a tiger's mouth. Worried? Haha, it was just a joke. Once a heaven immortal patriarch made a move, there would be no place to hide. They could wipe out everything with a wave of their hand. A half-step heaven immortal demon beast was the real deal. In their eyes, the demon beast in front of them was the real deal. There was no way it was fake. Everyone, this demon beast is called the Blazing Lizard. It has a violent temperament, and its physical defense is very strong. Half-step heaven immortals can hardly injure it. At the same time, it has boundless strength. It is invincible against opponents of the same level. Its innate flame can burn all things. The auctioneer was excited. Everyone, if anyone has a half-step heaven immortal demon beast, they will be invincible against opponents of the same level. It had to be said that the auctioneer's words had stirred up the atmosphere. Everyone was tempted. A powerful fire-type demon beast with strong defense and sharp attack power. It was really a good battle pet. Blazing Lizard. The starting bid is 1,000 fifth-grade spirit veins. As soon as the auctioneer finished speaking, someone immediately spoke. Our Life Alliance offers 1,500. Previously, they had won the Ancient Serpent Heavenly Spear. Now that the Life Alliance had spoken, it seemed that they were determined to win. Your Life Alliance is nothing. Our Blood Alliance offers 1,600. The Blood Alliance quickly made a bid. The Profound Sect offers 2,000. The bidding price quickly rose. Sect Master, wouldn't auctioning off a demonic beast comparable to a half-step heavenly immortal? Today's auction was of great significance. The Scarlet Refining Heavenly Demon and the others were all there. As for the final treasure, they really didn't know. It was added at the last moment. When they heard that the last item to be auctioned was a battle pet, their hearts started to bleed. A half-step heaven immortal. Mythology City currently lacked powerful demonic beasts the most. What's wrong with the sect leader? Everyone understood what the sect leader was thinking. Even if a half-step heavenly immortal realm demonic beast was still some distance away from a real half-step heavenly immortal realm demonic beast, coupled with the fact that demonic beasts were innately stronger than humans, they would at least be able to hold out for a moment against a real half-step heavenly immortal. Hee, you will naturally understand in the future. At that time, you will all be shocked. Lin Fei's eyes narrowed, revealing a sinister smile. Could it be that the sect leader is planning to trick them? The red, refining heavenly demon and the others had a thought in their minds. They were all superpowers. Using a demonic beast to trick them didn't seem too reliable, right? Even if he had tampered with the demonic beast, wouldn't everything be exposed once he brought it back and the celestial immortal patriarchs made a move? They couldn't figure it out. They really couldn't figure it out. Lin Fei was laughing in his heart. Compete with all your might. Anyway, you are all fools with money. If there comes a day when you point your guns at our mythological city, you will regret it. A demonic beast that was comparable to a half-step heavenly immortal realm demonic beast. Unless they were fools, no one would sell it. It was the same in any superpower. Lin Fei was different from others. Don't forget that he had a system. The demonic beast that was being auctioned today was bought through the system. Through the system, it was equivalent to tampering. Even a heavenly immortal patriarch wouldn't be able to see through it. Lin Fei slapped his thigh. He really hoped that day would come so that they would understand the true meaning of drawing water with a bamboo basket with water. I am preparing for a rainy day. Lin Fei was the only one in the entire continent who could do such a crazy thing. 3,500. 3,600. 4,000 spiritual veins. The blazing lizard's price suddenly rose to 4,000 spiritual veins. If this price was spread, it would shake the entire continent. From this, one could see that the superpowers had too much money and nowhere to spend it. When the price rose to 4,000 spiritual veins, the private rooms quieted down. 4,100. The Life League made another bid. Xian Sect bid 4,200. The blazing lizard is ours. The Xian Sect announced domineeringly. Adding another 100 spiritual veins in one go was like the last straw that broke the camel's back. The Life Alliance gave up unwillingly. 4,200 going once, going twice, going thrice. Congratulations to Private Room 7 for obtaining the blazing lizard. The auctioneer slammed the hammer and gave the final call. Private Room 7. The blazing lizard is finally ours. In the private room, everyone heaved a sigh of relief. They had invested a lot for the blazing lizard. If the Life Alliance had continued to bid, it might have been the Xian sect's turn to give up. Once we get the blazing lizard, we will return immediately. The leading elder said solemnly, I have already informed the experts in the sect to come and help us. We cannot afford to lose the half-step heaven immortal demonic beast. 4,200 spiritual veins for the half-step heaven immortal demonic beast. As for taking revenge on Demon Lin, it became a small matter in the blink of an eye. In front of the half-step heaven immortal demonic beast, it was insignificant. Today's auction has come to an end. Thank you for your participation. After the auctioneer left, Lin Fei walked up and said some meaningless words. The next auction will be held 2 months from today. There will still be some treasures that everyone is interested in. As for today's auction, Box 7 will be eligible to participate in the next auction for free. Everyone's eyes fell on the Xian sect's private room. Demon Lin is too despicable. The leading elder's face was gloomy. His words seemed to be complimenting the Xian sect, but in fact he was reminding everyone that the Xian sect had treasures in their hands. As for whether anyone would make a move, the answer was obvious. A superfaction against a superfaction, who would be afraid of the other. Even though they knew that Demon Lin was up to no good, they would still make a move. Demon Lin, just you wait. Sooner or later, our sect will make you spit out everything. The elder said to himself. He decided to publicize Myth City and Demon Lin when he returned.